Ain't no stopping you now.
Ain't no stopping me.
I hate you guys. I don't understand why you got to make me going live so difficult.
I don't even know what because it's hard to know what we're doing right now.
Well, right now, people are hearing you guys talk while I'm trying to get all my buttons ready to press to go over to the opening. So,
oh my goodness, babe, and anyway, so.
welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale.
And unfortunately, we were not chosen to fight for the realm to save society from Shang Zhao. We just weren't. Whatever his name is. I know when his name was Sal before he put the G at the end. You know, I remember him because, you know, I used to pick him.
It's always been Shang Tsung.
Eric, you can't be trusted with names, much like how Seth Rollins can't be trusted to say Cesaro anymore. Cesaro.
Yeah, you know, I agree. But I can't trust you guys with my belongings if I ever come over to your houses because I feel like you guys would just send it back to me in inappropriate mailing attire, personally.
Yeah, but we would also shit in the bag.
I do house the Boo Boo Berry.
So, gentlemen, I'm glad to be joined by you guys this week.
AKA Wisconsin Ryan.
You know, it's who is currently selling the seas right now. I hope he's having a good voyage and the wind is blowing hard.
Yo ho.
Yeah, so, gentlemen, I think we have said on numerous occasions that wrestling fans, we can take a molehill and make it into a mountain. We see these little things and we make it bigger than what they are. I would say that the story that came out this week, where Mickie James has broke the wrestling community by posting a picture of her belongings that was mailed to her from WWE, being placed in a trash bag, might be the most ridiculous, immature, and most relevant story this week, which is so sad. Marcus, I turn to you. Can you tell me exactly what did Mickie James have in that trash bag that WWE had to mail back to her when they let her go?
Well, I saw the image, I saw the video, and you never actually see what's in this trash bag. And there is a box that goes with it. There's a box, a shipping box of some kind. But you never see in it. And honestly, I need to know what's in the bag to determine if it should be in the trash bag or not. Because I don't know. I believe personally it's not her ring gear or anything of any importance because she hasn't wrestled for the company in like a decade, it seems like. The last time she made an appearance was at Takeover in the pre-show where she out Beth and was a better version of Beth Phoenix on the pre-show. But I don't know what her belongings could be. We're in a COVID state, goddammit. Don't be leaving your shit around.
Well, so,
right?
Marcus,
don't be leaving your shit around. I had to throw it in the trash bag.
Marcus,
I'm putting it in the bag, Eric. I'm in the bag.
I'm going to turn to Manny because Manny's the only individual here that I know that has any type of HR experience. And I'm extremely confused about the WWE working conditions for the simple reason these people don't have desks. So once they were let go, most times they're let go at home. I don't think they have any area where they would clean out, even when they were on the road. Manny.
So I learned this basic of conversation from Renee Paquette's podcast called The Oral Sessions, where she was talking to Bayley pending when Renee left. So Renee had claimed she had a drawer and left stuff in it, and then Bayley said, "Oh yeah, we took your drawer and we're now got alcohol in there." So I'm assuming they have a plate. They have little cubbies or something where they leave personal knickknacks lying around and stuff like that. So I'm presuming that Mickie James may have just left stuff there. And then the guy that got fired, Mike Carano, who's been on Total Divas quite a lot when they're getting in trouble.
Most famous for letting Natty know that she would not make it to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I believe he probably told one of the interns, you know what, go clear out her thing. And what's the easiest way to move people? You chuck it in a big fucking bag, and then you put a label on it, and then he probably had loads of things to empty. What are you gonna do? So individual notes? Like, I'm sorry you left.
Maybe they want.
Hold on. This has been going on since Gail Kim and Lillian Garcia have been
Marcus,
fighting.
let me do my job, Marcus, real quick. So, as Marcus was alluding to, 3 women came out to the forefront. 3 women came to the forefront and said, what are you talking about? Did they fire the person who did this in 2010? And quite frankly, the 3 women that I have mentioned have an axe to grind with WWE. We have Maria Kanellis-Bennett. We have Gail Kim, who famously quit in the Royal Rumble, and then we have Jillian Hall, who I believe who may be a Hall of Famer. Didn't she get put in the Hall of Fame?
No.
She did an introduction to the Hall of Fame.
I don't think she even did that.
I think she showed up in the Rumble this year.
Oh.
The only thing about Hall is her surname, her ring name.
With that being said, these 3 women, and I do not call them a liar, but a lot of them came back and worked with WWE afterwards. I don't think the trash can, because as Betty says, when you move, trash bag, when you move, you put a lot of stuff in the trash bags. I still have stuff in trash bags when I moved homes from Long Beach to where I live at now. So it's just what it is.
It's just easy. It's just easier to do. And they probably had so how many people did they release that day? 10? So I'm presuming they had 10 lots of bags that they had to deal with. It's not personal.
I don't know. I don't hear Pepe and Billy KK talking about how they got their shit in the plastic trash bag, or Samoa Joe. These people were here weekly.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're a little bit smart because they probably want another job.
Hey, but did you guys did you guys read the statement that Mickie James left? Like, she said she didn't want anybody to be fired or something of that nature. She just wanted to show light and all that, and she wasn't sure if the McMahons knew what was going on and whatnot. Like I said, at the end of the day,
no, she was trying for clout.
No, she trying for clout. She threw shade. She threw more shade in the end of it.
Well, I mean, when you carry around the 10 pounds of gold, I mean, if she would have opened up the trash bag and the 10 pounds of gold would have came out, I'll be like, yeah.
Maybe that's what they left in the cubby, and somebody was like, oh, this is garbage. The NWA title? Mr. Man's like, we still got that around? Throw that in the trash.
I mean, Stephanie apologized and stuff like that. Let me just ask you guys this question. Do you guys think that Stephanie, Vince, and Triple H knew that this practice was going on? Manny, I turn to you first with that question.
I don't think they do, because they don't have anything to. They just say fire the person. I don't think they have anything else to do with whatever else goes on after that. And then what I read was that an investigation went on, and then all these people in senior positions started to lose their jobs who were connected to all this stuff.
Marcus, what about you? Do you think they know what was really going on?
I don't think they cared. I feel like if I'm running a multi-million-dollar operation here, I could care less about what we do with other people. The little thing like this, what do I do with Mickie James left behind shit? Cases happens when we're in a Thunderdome. Like, they even switched Thunderdomes. They lucky none of this shit was thrown out. Like, this is not. It's something I wouldn't even consider. Like, oh, how are we gonna sit this back? Put it in the bag.
Well,
in a bag. I don't care what bag it is.
Well, I just have a little.
It's not like it's her Hall of Fame. She's not even in the Hall of Fame, but it's not like it's a Hall of Fame ring or her pictures of Nick Aldis and her son. It's nothing important. For people who get fired and leave shit at work, none of that shit is important. You put it in a box and you get rid of it.
You know, for me, I think I leave it at this. At the end of the day, if you're going to work for WWE and if you're going to be an employee of them, take your shit with you, because you never know when you're going to get featured endeavored and they will mail your shit to you in the trash bag and you might not be happy with it. That's all I got to say with that.
Eric, can I just say one other thing?
Go ahead, Manny.
This is the wrestling fans out there. This wasn't a big deal. There's bigger issues in the world. Like, there's still ongoing racism going on in the world. So I don't know why you're getting on your high horse about someone getting their shit put in a fucking bag. You fucking idiots.
There's so many more problems in wrestling. Not even just the world. WWE has had major issues. For you to go and say this is classes from them, they've done worse. They've done a lot worse.
I just look at it this way. It's like people were fired. People were fired. And if you're really talking about this whole thing about you know what? This is ridiculous. I can't believe this happened. Then, you know what? You gotta really worry about something else more than that. Like, you need to have bigger problems than that.
You need to have bigger problems than that.
You have bigger problems. Stress. But my whole thing is that it's all pending what's in the back. It's not like it was like, I have very important documents and stuff like that. They threw it up. Well, not even that. Like, I don't even know what could be in that bag. Like, I can imagine, what if it's just like soap or protein powder? Like, I'm putting that in the trash bag. You gotta throw it out. I have no idea what was in there. And I'm just saying, like, there's some shit that probably should have been thrown out.
I like Marcus, like,
they got it back.
It's soap. Like, you know what? She has some Pantene.
Maybe she showered after a show. I don't know. Who knows?
Like, if it was something personal, like a passport or something, you'd send it in the proper way. But like Marcus said, I don't think it was anything remotely important. So you would shove it in a fucking bag.
Yeah, you're like, oh, let me make sure this is sent back really proper. Like, I don't think it's anything. I don't even think it's not like it was an outfit. If it was an outfit, maybe I'd be a little upset. Like, this cost me some money here. And you put it in a trash bag?
All right.
But I'm like, even then, I wouldn't even, I just feel like this is overblown.
All right, so let's move on to something else that is a little bit we can talk about in quickness. And I'm trying to do something.
Let me say this. You can like and subscribe to the show at any given point. Just click the button, get the notification and subscribe or unsubscribe at the same time.
No, Marcus.
Every subscriber we get is a new subscriber to us.
As someone said that you could like the show by clicking the like button. And if you dislike the show, click the like button twice. That's how it works out. With that being said, AEW has suffered a loss, and I'm going to try to do this graphic right now. Oh, it actually works. Go figure. Darius Martin, one half of Top Flight, apparently suffered an ACL injury once he had his match back in February, and now Top Flight will be gone for the foreseeable future. Marcus, is this a loss for the tag division that it looks like AEW has moved away from because we haven't had that many tag matches since that time?
I guess it's a loss. They weren't featured that much on Dynamite anyway, but I think it's maybe because one guy got hurt. I'm shocked that this news is just coming out because I feel like he's been hurt a while, right? Like,
yeah, it's been since February.
Is he only just getting surgery now?
No, he just got the surgery now. Who knows? Maybe, I think a lot of times with these types of injuries and maybe in professional wrestling, they're waiting to see if it could heal itself because he is younger and see if it was more structure or damage than what it was. I'm assuming that it didn't work out as well as they thought it would, so they just opted to have the surgery.
Or they just don't have Dr. James Andrews on call.
Well, I think Dr. James is for everybody. If you got the money, you just go see Dr. James.
You got time.
All it takes is he looks at his phone. Oh, it's Vince McMahon. That's money coming in.
That's also a possibility because you never know.
That's a name I haven't really heard from WWE TV in a long time, Dr. James Andrews.
Well,
you hear him on TV, whether it's on WWE or even on the sports. They don't bring him up as much anymore. Maybe he's done.
No,
maybe he's retired.
No, he's not the main surgeon now. I think it's a new dude in Boston now. Because
there's Dr. Youngblood.
Yeah,
they don't bring him up either. And you don't say he's a new dude because his name is Youngblood.
No, he's a new dude because of the. Damn, Marcus.
Youngblood, come on, Youngblood. No.
So, speaking of new blood, it's now time to move on to Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown started off with Cesaro standing in the ring. At this point, I was excited, but I was also nervous because I saw Cesaro in the middle of the ring with a microphone. And I was really wondering to myself, are they going to let him speak with a live microphone on Friday night? My answers were...
They replayed that backstage segment of him saying "son of a bitch," and I could not stop laughing again.
and at that point, I knew that, you know what, they're not going to do this. And on cue, Seth Rollins came down to the ring. He congratulated Cesaro for fulfilling his potential.
Cesaro.
He congratulated for fulfilling his potential by defeating him at WrestleMania. He came up with a great excuse that the rain delay really bothered him in this situation, and that's the only reason why he got the win.
That's like 12. He was match 12.
You know what? Hey,
weren't they on night 2?
When you're maniacal, no, they were night 1. When you're maniacal, you have to come up with excuses to make it. He said Cesaro couldn't beat him on his best day again. Cesaro finally spoke. He said, "I'm feeling great today, and I offer to beat you tonight." At that point, I was like, this is why they don't let you talk, Cesaro. This is just why, but I'm okay with it.
I had no problem with the small sentences right here. I'm feeling great. How are you feeling? I'll fight you tonight.
Wasn't that almost similar to the first thing Keith Lee ever said when he was on Raw? When he said greetings and salutations to fucking Randy Orton?
Yes. Greetings and salutations. So, somebody who
What's
is
your
not...
point of being here, Keith Lee? What's your point?
So, someone who...
Start reading a long diatribe.
Someone who was not afraid of speaking on the microphone and, you know, just speaking pure fire, that is Jey Uso. Jey Uso was upset. Not upset because Cesaro did anything to him, but he's upset because the tribal chief, the head of the table, was disrespected by a lowlife challenging Roman. That's what it was. And then so at this point, Seth and Jay decide we could divide and conquer Cesaro in this ring. And I'm like, well, this is a random beatdown that they're going to have.
No, the best part was Jay was ready to do it on his own.
Yeah.
And then Seth went, no, you got to do it this way.
Yeah.
He's currently got the high ground.
Sure. It reminded...
We got to go full shield. We got to go shield.
Savior.
This is why he was the architect of the Shield. You know,
he went with full shield strategy.
And let's be real.
Come out the middle, we got him.
Seth had experience dealing with somebody like Jey Uso because I'm pretty sure Jey Uso is very similar to what Dean Ambrose was in the Shield. Just like, let's just get in there and beat people up. Let's not think about it. Let's not. So they divide and conquer. And then Marcus boy, Daniel Bryan, decides to interrupt. He decides to interrupt. And then next thing you know, they decide that, you know what, this beatdown is not going to happen because now they have the high ground and the odds are even. At this point, Roman comes down to the ring. He
didn't go to the ring. Don't give Roman that credit. He didn't go to the ring.
He didn't.
Make it past the ramp.
He didn't
make it past the ramp.
He didn't. You're right. Pretty much.
There's a comment in the live chat by Toilet Bowl Food Review, which I believed was your show. Have you got a separate account?
No,
he does food reviews while on the toilet. That's interesting. At this point, Roman...
I've been ripped off.
Roman comes out. He says, I defeated you at the main event of WrestleMania. You're a main event loser. And he walks away. Then we get a tag match that's between Cesaro and Seth going against Daniel Bryan. You guys know who was in the match. Seth walks away.
Give up.
It
was Cesaro. It was Bryan Danielson. It was Tyler Black, and it was Oos number 1.
Yeah, it was Oos number 1.
This is the man that said he took notes.
I did, but I'm trying to read my notes. I got too much shit going on my screen right now, man. I got...
Question. Why don't you just add? We don't have to go verbatim on what happened. They formed a tag match during the commercial break that took us all the way to the top of the hour, basically.
It was a great tag match. Best tag match of the week.
No.
Disagree.
No.
How dare you?
No, it's not the best tag match. Marcus already knows what my best tag match is. He knows what my best tag match is.
It was Imperium versus Everrise. That was a great tag match.
No, that was not even my great. Marcus knows what my match is, and it happened on SmackDown. Damn it! It happened.
Yeah, and Shayna Baszler versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke again.
So I guess after all that long-winded talking that I did, I will turn to Marcus. Marcus.
What talk about that?
Cesaro spun Jey Uso around multiple times to the point where Dan Bryan couldn't even count anymore, hoping that Roman Reigns would come down the ringside. Roman didn't show up. Do you think Roman made the right move of just sacrificing Jey Uso again?
Eric, I am from America, and we have one policy that I've known to stay true in all the movies. We don't negotiate with terrorism. And that's what was going on right there. That's what was going on right there, and we are not doing that. We are not. Just because you swing at my cousin, he can take us a swing. But our pride, our dynasty, our bloodline will never recover if we negotiate with terrorists. And that's what just happened right here. And I enjoyed this segment of them just talking shit back and forth. Daniel Bryan being the mouthpiece for Cesaro, being his hype man and hyping him up. And I can just imagine Roman in the back just being like, I'm so sick of this little motherfucker talking shit. I gotta kill him tonight.
When you annoyed that they didn't ever go back to Roman, because I felt like him sitting in his chair getting frustrated with this would have been the best image ever.
I do feel like they missed an opportunity because we only had Paul Heyman talk, but let's fast forward to the end of the show where, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan is waiting there because Roman said that he would meet with them. I love the way that not only did Roman totally ignore Cesaro, but Cesaro looked so awkward at that point. And then for Roman to challenge Daniel Bryan to a match for the championship, so Roman's going to work on Friday, and said that when you lose, your ass don't belong here anymore. Manny, do you like that stipulation of how we're going to get rid of Daniel Bryan in this?
Yeah, because there was also that story midweek where Daniel Bryan just felt disconnected at wrestling at WrestleMania. So I think he's trying. I think this is the easy way to write him off TV and transition him into a part-time wrestler.
Yeah, I think, Marcus, what about you? I know, are you sad to see Daniel Bryan maybe going back home to be a family man with the Hall of Famer Brie Bella?
It's time to go, but at least they're writing him off properly. He's going to go off into the sunset. He's going to get his ass beat. Roman's going to have they're going to have a great match next week and something to build to. I look forward to this. And I appreciate Cesaro going, you got to take this, man. You got to take this.
You can't let this go.
And then, but before the stipulation of your job's on the line match. Before that was on the line, so I was like, "Hey man, you ain't gonna win. I'll let you know." But yeah, it shows he's a man, and they're gonna fight it out next week.
Do you think Roman's gonna put his stuff in a trash bag when he's finished?
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. This is Daniel Bryan stuff. I'm throwing it in the trash right now. Like, damn, he's savage.
Classy. Bougie, whatever. So, I mean, Toilet Boy, it's the Meg Thee Stallion. So, Toilet Bowl Food Review says best match ever, Ricky Steamboat versus Macho Man at WrestleMania. I don't know where that came from, but since someone was in the chat room, I would point out, do you guys agree or disagree with that statement?
I don't think anyone else is watching it.
That's okay. Because you're the one person in there? That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you guys did this week. Maybe when you put Marcus in the little box and just said, people, I can't take Marcus being put in the box no more. Fuck this show. I don't know, but we don't do it for the people. We do it for ourselves.
What match should I do that for?
Huh?
What match should I do that for when I put you in the little box again?
Marshall versus Billy Guy.
Hey, Manny. Hey, unlike on your show when you're in charge, you might not talk about that match. But guess what? We are talking about that match on this show. I can't wait because that shit grind my gears. And I have so many questions. So, Marcus, I have good news for you. We had a match that took place where Tamina defeated Nia Jax. And I know that match really made you happy. But the more important thing, Marcus, was that Reginald was back. And he was wearing the fit, Marcus. Now, did his fit defeat the Drip God fit? Or do you think he needed to go back and work on a little bit more?
Well, he had the, as they say on the streets, the drip of the week with his outfit this day, considering Rollins decided to show up in ring gear and Corey Graves is no longer on SmackDown. So Reginald wins the outfit of the week. So it was an amazing outfit. I can see myself wearing that one day in Miami.
Maddie, what about yourself? Do you agree one night in Miami with Marcus, you could wear that outfit too?
What, both of us just walking down the streets of Miami?
Yes.
Wearing vagina repellent.
Maddie, I have a feeling that will not be vagina repellent because people know that cost a lot of money because he had matching shoes. Although he still had the tag at the bottom, so he's probably taking that shit back afterwards.
Vagina magnet, man. It's a vagina magnet.
There's also one thing that happened in this match which I just felt like was ridiculous, was Nia Jax screaming at Tamina, I've come to your show. You've been here every week for the last month.
For longer than that, it's been like 3 months straight that they have had single matches on SmackDown. And Eric, you are right. They are the tag team champions. They should only be there to do tag team business.
Now,
they are not there to do that. They are
I'm about to do something that I never thought I would do. I'm going to defend Nia Jax and her statement because technically she is correct. She has been on SmackDown. However, she has not been on SmackDown to work. It's only been Shayna showing up on SmackDown, losing in these singles matches. And considering what happened,
that work, what she's doing, she just shows up and gets rolled up every single week.
I mean, considering what's happening on Monday Night Raw between Lana and Naomi getting the win and whatnot, and Shayna making threats, I don't know where the women's tag division is going. I think I'm actually extremely excited that NXT decided to break away from the ridiculousness that the WWE tag team champions have and make their own women's tag team champion. Because as much as I hate to say it, Ember and Shotzi are legit a tag team compared to what they're doing on the other level. This is ridiculous. Now, something else is ridiculous, Manny, and I know you can't wait to chime in on this one.
Match?
Huh? Marcus, I'm not wasting time talking about Tamina and Nia Jax.
Then why did you bring the segment up? All right?
To talk about Reginald's outfit.
I have to ask Manny one question, and it has to be every single time. Every single time Nia Jax is in the match. And I got to get a star rating. Manny, Rita, Nia, star rating. What was it?
Well, I can't give it a 5 because because I want to take that title and just destroy it now.
Like the views, man. Like the views.
But I give it a 2. Give it a solid 2. There's some story there.
I think one of the best stories going on in SmackDown right now has to be Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is my number 2 most favorite act in wrestling because it's so ridiculous when he's backstage. I just can't take it seriously. So he is backstage and he's informing Pierce. He's telling Pierce in his Nigerian accent that him and the Commander will not be fighting Big E anymore. And at that point, that's where
hypocrisy.
That's
hypocrisy. This man had 6 attempts at Big E before he won that title. He developed a fake accent midway through this. Suddenly the other 3 attempts don't count anymore. Ridiculous from a ridiculous statement.
Well, Manny, it gets even more ridiculous.
Not only that.
Oh, okay.
He had Colonel Aziz.
Commander Marcus. He's the commander.
He's the Colonel. I know he can fry some chicken. You just look at that boy's eyes. He had 35. I know it. That's Colonel Aziz. I know the Colonel. He got white pants, don't he? He's the Colonel.
Who had fucking bell bombs in 2021?
With that being said, Pierce told Crews, "You're not going to fight Big E. You're going to fight Kevin Owens." Kevin Owens was backstage. He got approached by Big E. Big E accused Kevin Owens of jumping the line because apparently
This was even more stupid. Why was he doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. So pretty much the Intercontinental title has a lot. It was a really
enjoyable. It's the best story.
No, because there's so much going on.
There is no consistency in this.
Marcus, can you let me finish, man? Let me finish painting the picture. So we get the match. The match is going well between Owens and the Nigerian man with Nigerian descent. And Sami Zayn decides to join.
Did you just forget his name?
No, it's Apollo Crews. I just want because I told Marcus I laughed when I saw the SmackDown graphic and it just said Nigerian descent, and I'm like, okay, I guess. But Sami Zayn comes down and does commentary. He's upset because he doesn't have a headset, and his conspiracy theory happens. Owens loses. Afterwards, he gets the Nigerian nail, and then Sami dances over the dead body. Overall, I enjoyed this whole thing for all the wrong reasons. Manny, you're doing Sami's. What did you think of this whole segment that took place between Crews, Owens? Oh yeah, and then Big E attacked. I'll ask Marcus that question. What did you think about that whole segment?
Well, I like the ending of this because as in the pre-ramble when we were doing a light chat about Mortal Kombat where Jax got his powers by defending a white woman, I believe Apollo's downfall will be that new white woman that interviewed him, and he will lose his title because of it. Because his weakness is the white woman.
And she set him up.
I had to take what do you think I'm an idiot? I had to take that interview with a nice, beautiful, blonde white woman.
Marcus, so he did that interview.
Yeah, my weakness.
Mark, he did that interview, and Big E attacked him. What bothered me about the attack that Big E had is that that the referees were just right there on standby, waiting to stop this fight from happening.
How you gonna say, Marcus, I'm gonna ask you a question, and then you answer the question yourself, and then refuse to let me say anything in this segment? You say, Marcus, I want to ask you a question, but what bothered me on this thing, and I'm going, when were you gonna ask me this question,
Marcus? My question for Marcus.
Hours of talking.
My question for you.
Me and Manny aren't saying anything.
Manny's saying plenty. My question for you.
I haven't got a chance to say shit.
My question for you, Marcus, is what did you think of the whole segment? And also, do you think the commander should be fired because he let Big E jump Apollo in the back?
So, I got to go all the way back? I'm only going to give you one answer and one answer only. Yes.
So, after your complaint of not being able to talk, I'm okay with that, Marcus. So we're moving on. The man who we thought was done with professional wrestling, Alistair Black, had a segment. Marcus, I turn to you. He read from Chapter 1, The Dragon. Do you like where Alistair Black is going in this direction?
I want to know who's doing the puppeteering act. This back with the thing. Because out now looking at it, yeah, why not? It's better than him saying knock on his door or whatever else the hell he's doing. All I want is when he comes back, he has his own theme music, and we act like the past year of him losing an eye and everything else that went on in his life and protecting the Mysterios never happened.
Manny has his hands raised. Go ahead, Manny.
So, first of all, I enjoyed the way the whole thing was shot. They spent way too much money on this production. However, he kept alluding to harnessing the power of unleashing the dragon. Is his father Cisco?
I don't know, but I didn't think that he had a good relationship with his father because he wasn't taught how to defeat the dragon, he said, but he was taught how to become the dragon. The true rotten nature of man was revealed with their lies and deceit. He was speaking a lot of rhetoric out of that book, and I'm like, I'll see. It's better, as Marcus said, it's better than knock on my door. I'll be waiting for you.
Over under 10 chapters to this book.
Why don't you knock on my door?
He been waiting for you. Three's company too. But here's my question. How many chapters do you think we're getting in this book? I got 10. I got this going like Emma, and she's going to go on and on.
Yeah, but like, the Emma segment, you didn't get any talking whatsoever. You just got her lavishly like removing a bit of clothing every now and again, or cloth going over her arm or something.
I think that was Liv Morgan. Wasn't that Liv Morgan?
Whoever it was,
no,
Marcus,
Liv Morgan was the one that was in the bath.
We can't. We can't really remember what they. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, I think we get 5 weeks of this before he shows up. I mean, the thing is,
lose in the first match.
The real question is, who's he going to feud with? Is it going to be for the IC title, or is it going to be somebody else? Do we start over with him?
No, he's getting revenge on Kevin.
No, I mean, is it like on Monday Night Raw where Sheamus had his open challenge that, you know, because they brought up John Cena and Humberto Carrillo came out and got destroyed?
Who knows?
All right. So,
it's glad to see him back. You know, that, you know, in part of releasing, the big story was they've been filming vignettes for Alistair Black. That was part of the stories. And here we go with the vignette that they filmed.
And I want to go out to the biggest bitch move of the week. The biggest bitch move of the week has to go out to Montez Ford for snitching on Bayley, who was just doing her thing. And he calls Bianca on the phone, and then she says, "I'm going to talk to her." Manny, Bayley was very respectful to Bianca. Did you like that Montez snitched on Bayley?
No, but I feel like that's a trap question if you're a woman asking a man that question. That's a very trapful question, because she would have had a problem with Montez if she caught wind of that, him being in earshot of that, and they're not telling her. Much like how he was sleeping on the couch when he didn't deliver on winning those tag team titles last week.
He was outside. You gotta sleep in Dawkins' house.
He can't.
I'm a baby and stuff. Come on. I don't care. You better find somewhere to go. Why don't you come see one of them hoes you with? Like, how did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get to this situation? But I agree with Manny. He had to say something at this point because Bianca would have saw that on TV. You were right there. You let her say all that shit about me. But Bianca wasn't watching this. And, it looked like there was going to be a conflict that the policeman may have been called. When she said, I'm going to be on my way. And I was talking, Bailey's like, I'll be right here.
Yeah.
Shit. I said it to your face. I said it to your damn face.
Bailey ain't no bitch. Man, Manny, your profile pic really got me thrown off right there, Manny. That's so happy with the green background. Wow. I feel like you about to sell me something.
Yeah.
Before we go further, I want to say that Manny has put a jacket over the back of his chair so I don't get distracted by the cat ears. Now it looks like Manny has headphones on, but a receding hairline and flowing locks behind him.
We did 2 shows earlier this week, and you did not even remotely tell me you were distracted by what was going on.
Remember.
So why is it this show that you're distracted?
Manny,
I had time to look around.
Manny, if you remember last week, he got distracted by Fiasco cleaning herself in the chair in the back. So I think he's fascinated by cats. That's why his secret love lust for Natty Neidhart is right there. He loves when she walks out with the cat ears. That's what this is about.
And the cat, Lindsay Dorado.
So
Ernest the cat Miller.
My favorite wrestlers, Ernest the Cat Miller, Lindsay Dorado, and
Cheetah.
What the cat that I guess Jerry the King Lawler was with.
My favorite tag team match of SmackDown was Dominic and Rey Mysterio going against Otis and Gable. For the simple reason, this was one of the most traditional tag team matches WWE has had because everybody was in matching attire, and I honestly didn't know who was going to win. And I think this, as Pat McAfee said, this tag division is thick. Marcus, can you explain how thick this tag division is?
I didn't believe him until I watched this match that this tag division is thick with 2 C's. We have now 4 tag teams on SmackDown, which is an all-time high in WWE history.
And name those 4 tag teams. Name those 4 tag teams.
The Dirty Dog Academy and the Los Mysterios.
Marcus,
and I know they know about Los Mysterios. I just added that to give them more flair.
Marcus, can I piggyback real quick? I'll let you keep talking about what you said. Yes, we have 4 tag teams, which is thick. And this has been a long time. The 4 tag teams doesn't include the Usos or the New Day. That's how thick this tag team division is right now. Back to your comment, sir.
Sorrow's not even in the tag team division anymore, which he's been for his entire career. But
isn't the Lucha House Party on SmackDown?
We only talked about 4 teams, man. 4. We didn't talk about. They might have 5.
They're on Raw. They're on every show. If they have a 5th Betty, they're gonna be thick with 3 C's.
All they need now is a thick boy.
Can I tell you something? And this is my wild take. Evil Otis is the best wrestler in the world, and no one can tell me different. I don't give a damn. I love me some Evil Otis.
Marcus, let's be honest. You love you Evil Otis. You love you good Otis. You just like Otis, Marcus. You just like Otis.
I liked good guy Otis. I love Evil Otis because what a turnaround. He is
the cement truck Otis.
His load. He's gonna give me my load.
Betty, do you
he's talking about he's a cement truck.
Betty, if you are wrestling a man and he says I'm about to drop his load on you, do you stop wrestling that man and get out that ring? Because
you run away quickly because either some hot jizz is coming your way or some hot shit is coming your way.
Yeah. His load. That is harassment no matter who you tell that to. But get this load is a terrible catchphrase. But if you put that on a shirt, I might have to buy that shit.
No, Marcus.
And I might go to jail. I want to get canceled for that shirt.
Oh, wait. Speaking of shirts, Roman's new shirt of Stackham, whatever it was.
Stackham, Piddle.
That is a Me Too movement shirt waiting to happen. An anti-Me Too movement shirt waiting to happen.
Like a rape shirt. Oh.
Well, he did say, Daniel Bryan, that's you right there, man. That's you. That's you
at the bottom. I made this shirt and put you at the bottom right there. So do I get royalties? But Otis is now fighting for keeps, which means if you lose to him, he's going to go fuck you at the end of it. It's right.
So that was SmackDown. I thought SmackDown was probably the more enjoyable show of the whole week. I still enjoy SmackDown too because they have me enough stories. I get in and I get out, and it's wonderful. Manny, what did you think of this week's episode of SmackDown?
It was solid. There was no bit that I could go, I hated that moment. I felt like there was moments across the whole week of wrestling on Raw, AEW, NXT where there was bits where it was just like, why did we need this? Whereas SmackDown, it felt like everything felt right.
Marcus, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. SmackDown. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna try to throw it to you, but that's okay.
So I felt SmackDown was a very efficient show, but it's easy to do an efficient show when you do your first hour is a tag match and a setup to that tag match with Daniel Bryan, Seth, and those other people that Aaron can't remember.
Yeah, but I think
an hour. That was an hour of television.
But I think overall that they have the foundation. They know who the star of SmackDown is. That is Roman. Everything centers around Roman. I thought also what happened was really nice is that the subtle confusion by Seth Rollins on the ramp where Roman didn't even acknowledge that he was out there. It was like, what are you doing? Like, I like those little side moves because we know eventually their paths are going to cross. We don't know when their paths are going to cross, but they're going to cross again.
They're going to team up. Like, put me on the table. Put me at the table. Put me at the table. Like, I can just imagine him yelling that. I'm at the table. And Roman just being cool and then Seth just talking his bullshit. But I appreciate Seth walking out. It felt in character that he would just walk out. I don't need this. I didn't come out here for this.
Yes.
This is what I wanted.
Well, the match started this way where he wasn't even on the apron. McAfee's like, you gotta help Jay out, man.
Shut up, McAfee. I gotta
well,
help him on the apron.
At the end of the day, he told Cesaro, you can't beat me on your great day. He knew Cesaro's superpowers were at a high level because it was a great day for Cesaro because he had already said it, and he knew he didn't need to be in that ring with him. I think for me, the most important thing that took place on SmackDown is the fact that I like the whole way they're going to get rid of Daniel Bryan. I like that Roman said, I'm sick of your ass. I'm sick of looking at you. I'm sick of you being here. And after next week, when I beat you, you need to leave. And I'm like, yes. I wish he would have.
Politely.
I mean, I wish he could do that to the women's tag team champions and say they never show up on SmackDown again. I need you to leave also. I'm just saying. It's a lot of things that's going on. So,
all right, Eric, so as this is the Mickey James edition of the show, the trash bag edition, on SmackDown, what are you putting in that trash bag?
Marcus, I would have to put in the trash bag Tamina and Nia Jax. I didn't need that. I felt that it deterred away from the show. Everything else I liked, but it was out of place. Also, the Dirty Dogs. The Dirty Dogs might be the worst tag team champions in WWE right now.
Manny, what you putting in the trash bag?
I've demoted him, but he will be Mr. Aziz. Because not only did he not go after Big E, he had Apollo was on the floor and all he did was hold his hand.
so Manny, so he's no longer the commander, so he is now Major Aziz for you?
No, just Mr.
Okay.
Mr.
Marcus,
just like your Mr. Eric Smith, he is Mr. Aziz.
Marcus, I'm going to turn the reins over to you because now we're going to have a bit of the show where you can't wait. It's in the title, where we are going to talk about another movie that relates to wrestling. And that is
We're going to Mortal Kombat now?
We're going to Mortal Kombat now, Marcus.
We're going to go back into wrestling? I feel like that's an awkward move.
Well, Marcus, the only reason why I have Mortal Kombat now is because you guys have already talked about AEW.
It don't matter. It's a podcast.
I understand what it is. Marcus.
Any of my opinions on the other
Marcus,
show.
Manny, you have to teach me how to do the small box for his ass. Marcus, we're talking about Mortal Kombat right now. Deal with it. Marcus, take over the reins, Marcus. Take over the reins.
Well,
When you end with Mortal Kombat.
Before we start with Mortal Kombat, the only way you can little box him is if he can see him go into a little box. The fact that we're on Skype and we can't see that stuff happen, you can't put Marcus in a little box.
So, you know, Manny, it's a part of me that might pay that $32 for 1 month so I can just throw Marcus into the little box. Just throw him into the box.
Still talk.
Yeah, I'll still talk. You're not stopping me.
I will mute you, Marcus.
Ain't no such thing as a little box on Saturday. Little box takes the weekends off, Jack. But I can't believe we're doing Mortal Kombat 2. You don't want to be in the second spot. That's why Jericho quit.
Well, Marcus, maybe, but you already told me what you thought of this movie.
Yeah, but we should put it either at the beginning or the end. You can't just put it in the middle, and then we're gonna talk about AEWs and NXT. I'll be out.
Also, I want to put all the American owners of British football teams trying to ruin English football
It would have been beautiful.
It wouldn't have. Just because American sports don't understand relegation.
Yeah,
No, we understand revenue.
No, but I heard about that fail as a coup, and you know what? Shout out to the English soccer fans who stopped that coup from happening. I mean, I think regulation or is it?
You don't even know what it's called.
You know what word I'm talking about?
Relegation.
Relegation. I think it's the best thing in sports, man. I think you should punish teams for being trash. Just like this show. Yeah, this show, the Saturday show should be relegated for a couple of times, man, because we can't get no views. But Marcus go give us the views when we talk about Mortal Kombat.
I also don't feel like shit teams like in the NFL draft should be rewarded with a good player.
Especially, I don't think you should. If you've been at the top of the draft for 5 years straight, you're not doing anything with your draft pick. So at that point, you need to stop being able to pick first. You need to pick last now. Just saying.
There need to be a limit. There need to be a limit. You can only get to the lottery. You can only get into the top 5 picks twice. That is it. Other than that, you gotta go. You gotta go. Can't be in there 10 years in a row.
Now, Marcus, Mortal Kombat.
Talking to you, Jets. Talking to you.
Wow, that's a personal shot at Manny. That's a personal shot.
Well, I know they suck, Eric. I didn't need Marcus to tell me they suck. Well, I know. I embody that they suck.
I guess this technically is a Mortal Kombat discussion. We're talking about football. We'd get rid of teams and stuff. Who would be finished?
Why is Mortal Kombat number 2?
Because I wanted to be number 2, Marcus. I wanted to be number 2. That's why. If you want to control the points of where we put the show at, then you can do Saturday show. And I'll be a guest.
I will. Increase the views by at least double.
Okay.
2 people.
It's not hard to do it from 10 to 20. It's not that hard. It's not.
Well, you got 20. You got 26 over a course of a week.
It's like slow and steady, baby. Slow and steady.
All right, man. Start Kombat in the second spot, you know.
Yeah, Mark, but I'm letting you lead because
we're putting the show together. You gotta put second spot, and where we're gonna build to Mortal Kombat. The cover of this is number 2 instead of making it number 1.
Because Marcus, we all know what the main event of the Saturday show is. The main event of the Saturday show is me hating on AEW. I can't bump that from the main event spot. I just can't.
There's the hate on there.
I just can't. But Marcus, I need you to lead the discussion of what you want to do and talk about Mortal Kombat because I know if I do it, I'm going to give spoilers off, and I'm not that kind of. I don't want to be that guy.
I'm doing spoilers. I'm not doing spoilers. I'm not talking spoilers.
Oh,
that's why I should be saved for the end of the show.
Manny, as you see, we're at an impasse right now. Should we do it at the end of the show, or should we do it now?
I feel like because we didn't lead with it, I think we need to go at the end of the show.
Well,
because that technically becomes anything but wrestling.
All right, then, at that point, then I will concede to the sensible co-host of the show. Yes, I called him sensible, and I will.
He made the same argument. I don't understand why you're doing that.
I don't listen to Marcus, Manny.
You have a horrible way of formatting your show. I don't know why.
But
why would that go number 2?
It's my show, and I can format it any way I want to because it's my prerogative. I can do what I want to do. You got a problem with that?
My will.
So now, since we have to, we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. Hope you satisfied.
Oh,
exactly. This is what you did. This is what you did. And Marcus, what did you feel about the interaction between Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Mace, and T-Bar? What did you feel about that, my brother? Speak on it.
Is this all together?
All together as a whole, Mark. That's how I'm doing Raw as a whole, because there's no reason to go inch by inch on that.
I'm happy they're losing the mask. Maybe little by little they'll lose part of this retribution storyline and forget that it was existence, and that we go on to see Mace have a Hall of Fame career like I always thought he would have. And Dominic Dijakovic going to become a champion like he probably always should be. Who knows? I just hope that this is the end of their masks, their stupid looks, everything about the old school retribution thing. Just let's end it here.
Manny, when Drew McIntyre slapped the shit out of Mace with his mask, did you hope that was going to be the end of Mace and you would never see him on your screen anymore?
He need to be written off and then put in a trash bag because he is the most garbage thing known to man. He is more garbage than Karrion Kross's best match.
I don't understand why you would do that to Cross. You keep putting them in categories of people.
Manny, I'm sorry to say, it didn't fit into the box, man. Now it does. Karrion Kross in the bin. There you go.
What is the box? God damn it. What box are we in now?
You're not leading out the screen, no. You're not leading out the screen, no. God damn it. Marcus, you promised me a background and you didn't come through. So.
Well, technically, this is probably this is right, this background.
Yeah, it's a good background. This is basically what I had, but this is better.
No.
I didn't like the background at the end of the day when I was done with it. I was like, I don't like this.
Oh.
Although it's a lot of space under there where it says Monday Night Raw.
I know it, but because Marcus, that's right there where I could do this. I could just put a chat thing and it pops up right there.
But no one's talking in the chat. I think I've said more in the chat than anything.
Manny, I was prepared for chat, but no one is here. No one wants to be here. It's just like nobody wants to see Braun being associated with Drew McIntyre. Marcus, what did you think about MVP stating that? Mark, what do you think about MVP stating that Bobby Lashley decided that he wanted to downsize the Hurt Business?
You mean Vince McMahon?
I said he said Bobby Lashley said it.
I think Vince McMahon and only Vince McMahon decided to break up the Hurt Business for no reason, and the fact that they don't have a Hurt Business anymore, it makes Bobby look weak now. I miss the Hurt Business every single time. Although we may shit on this Raw, but this was the best Raw I've seen in probably 8 weeks, and that doesn't say much.
When I was putting the show together and I was taking out the points that I liked on Raw, I was like, you know what? This was not that bad. Speaking of something that I really liked, I think the MVP currently of Raw post-WrestleMania has been Matt Riddle. And I know it's only been 2 weeks, but 2 weeks of Matt Riddle backstage is amazing, because first he got beat up by Bobby because he wanted to fight Bobby, but then this week he decided he was going to approach Randy Orton. At that point he was going to approach Randy Orton and he wanted to form RKO Bro, which led to a match that I thought was really good.
Bro.
Manny,
how you mess that up.
Don't worry about how I do, Marcus. You got me. Manny, what did you feel about Matt Riddle's performance and his win defeating Randy Orton, stopping the RKO?
Well, Eric, you also left out that you always wanted to meet a apex predator. What does that even mean? I thought the match was really good. However, from various news sources, it appears that Randy Orton may have got injured during this match, as Randy Orton was unable to properly finish the match, which is why you saw him do the superplex off the second rope, not the top rope, because he may have injured his shoulder again.
Well, he does have those tricky shoulders, so you never know. Marcus, what about you? What did you think about the match?
I thought it was a great match, and I agree with your assessment that Matt Riddle might be the MVP of Raw now the Hurt Business is gone, because every week he comes out there and he has amazing matches either with Sheamus or Bobby or whoever else, and Randy Orton this week. So I look forward to every Matt Riddle segment and match, and he's something to look forward to on Raw, because God knows there isn't that much else.
Well, Marcus, Charlotte made her return to Monday Night Raw, and she's demanding respect.
God!
She's demanding respect, Marcus, and so then Asuka and Rhea came out to the ring. She accused them of maybe ganging up and jumping her, and then she invited Ripley to watch her match. So at the point for the story, Asuka defeats Charlotte with the aid of Rhea Ripley. Do you like the storytelling that they were trying to tell, and not the real reason why Charlotte may be off of television?
That she lost her damn mind and beat up every referee except for the one guy she truly loves?
Well, Mark, I was more talking about how Rhea decided to assist Asuka in defeating Charlotte compared to the beatdown that Charlotte did of every referee that came into sight.
Yeah, I honestly don't care about that aspect of it. That Rhea, I guess, is evil Rhea Ripley. She's Rhea Ripley, and when she's just trying to cheat. I honestly don't care about all that. I care more about Charlotte just beating up the referees and becoming the new apex predator of the company, only to start a firestorm in her suspension with Dave Meltzer online.
Yep, because what did he say, that she's all about her looks and about body image, which Charlotte retaliated with fire.
Fuck you, Meltzer.
You know what? I'm at the point too. I'm like, fuck him too. Like, at the end of the day, if Charlotte wants to
you're just now getting. I feel like you've been at that point since the beginning.
I have, Marcus. But at the same time, I'm just thinking at this point, like, I'm tired of people trying to body shame people of what they want to do. I mean, like, if she wants to go and get modified, let her be modified. Let her live her life. It's her life. I mean, and if Andrade like it,
you're talking about modified, like she talked like she's Jax or something.
It would have been perfect if somebody would let me talk about Mortal Kombat, but I couldn't.
It would have been perfect if you would have started the show with Mortal Kombat.
Eric, this is the way you wanted it, and you also wanted to sprinkle in bits and pieces of Mortal Kombat. So you can't have it both ways.
So Monday Night Raw might have an evil bitch problem because we have Charlotte, who's considered an evil bitch because she beat up every referee. But then we have, the girl who drives the views for every show. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see some Alexa Bliss on top of some thumbnails in the foreseeable future to get the views back up.
How fucking dare you, Eric? How dare you? How dare you call me out? How dare you call me out? Since she's left, we have not cracked 100.
I understand what you're saying.
No, wait. Jade Cargill got 120.
With that being said, Alexa decided to explain her relationship with Lily. And her and Lily have been friends for a long time. And it was one time where a little girl didn't want to give her a bite of her ice cream cone. Not knowing that Alexa did not like strawberry ice cream, but Lily told her to push that bitch. So she pushed that bitch off the swing and she broke her arm. And tonight, Alexa was putting the women on notice that I'm about to push y'all asses off the swing. Manny, do you like the Fiend, Alexa Bliss?
Eric, if you're going to push someone off the swings and then eat ground ice cream, you can't be this person cannot be trusted. You should fear that person at all costs. much like the people that have survived this pandemic who were drinking from faucet water.
Manny, I guess my question for you, what would you push somebody off the swing for?
Anything. Anything. If I want it and you have it, I'll push you off the swing.
Marcus,
I can't wait till this holds up in court and someone pulls up this video. It was like, what would you do? Man, I'm innocent. And let's go to Exhibit A from the Sharpshooter Wrestling Podcast, episode 728. At this certain time, Manny goes, if I want it, I'm going to get it. I'll push him on the swing and it'll be for anything. And it's like, oh, damning evidence. I'm innocent, guys. I swear.
This is when I get done for Sparta kicking a child for like their Pokemon cards or something.
Maybe with the V trigger on the swing to some little girl. But I would go for the macaroons. If someone has some good fire macaroons.
You love macaroons. I just don't understand.
What child on a swing has macaroons? What privileged society are you living in?
I'm gonna tell you, if I walk down the street and a kid with macaroons on the swings, just know that kid is done.
Where are you? Where are you? Are you in Ohio?
J.K. Smush says, can he push his...
on the run in Montana.
He said, can he push his boss off the swing in the chat room? If your boss has something that you want, you can push him off that swing. You can push him off the swing.
But
if you're going to say that, you're going to quote me.
What are the physics of... Do you think she caught it in midair, or like Manny said, she ate the ice cream off the ground?
I think she ate the ice cream off the ground, man. I mean, at the end of the day, she didn't even like strawberry ice cream, so I don't know what Lily's issue was. I mean, strawberry ice cream sound good right now, too. Damn.
That shows that mental health is a concern, and everybody, please get checked.
Yes.
Including your Kellogg's and cats. And I have no idea why that.
That also sounds like we're joking about that, but yeah, if you've really got anything, just go see someone.
So with that,
I was joking, but yeah, this is serious. Go see someone.
The last thing I want to talk about Monday Night Raw, which I feel is something that they're really trying to force, and for me, it's not clicking with me. And Marcus, I'm going to ask you, what do you think about this this feud between The Miz, Damian Priest, and now Maurice being sprinkled into it? Is it really resonating with you?
I have no idea what the hell's going on in this. Last week, Miz wins a match with his pants down, and this week, I think Priest just lose to The Miz.
No, Priest won this week.
Oh, he won this week, but it don't matter. It seems irrelevant, and Priest has been irrelevant since his debut with Bad Bunny. He needs to be repackaged already. Back to the drawing board. He needs to become a badass again and jump into the hot tubs. He can't do that in his current state.
Manny, do you agree with Marcus that he needs to be repackaged like Keith Lee? Just be taken off TV and go from there.
I feel like it was a bad move to pair him with Bad Bunny when he recently just debuted on Raw, because he hadn't really made his own name on Monday Night Raw. So like pairing him with Bad Bunny now is taking him to a level where he doesn't really belong at this moment in time. So he just seems a bit off. Much like how I always say, Miz and Maurice on Raw look weird together, much like Donald Trump and his wife whenever they were captured anywhere.
For me, the thing that I think is really it's like I think he's having a hard time dealing with the Monday Night Raw structure. I think having people telling him what to do, because he seems very awkward. Because I thought when they showed the segment when him and Bad Bunny were being interviewed backstage and they were speaking in Spanish, I thought that was like real Damian Priest. I thought he looked comfortable. He looked like he was in the zone. When he's in the ring with The Miz, it just seems like it's not clicking. There might not be the chemistry that they need to have. But I understand they're trying to promote Miz and Maurice. I guess I just don't know if this is the right direction for him to go.
He has no identity. I know nothing about the Archer infamy. Nothing. They do vignettes, backstage interviews. I don't know. Just a lot. Because all he is Bad Bunny's friend, and Bad Bunny went on tour, and now he's all alone. That's his identity now.
Sold out. And Marcus,
tickets was $1,000.
They were freaking expensive, because I looked up because I was like, oh shit, I can't go.
You wanted to see some Bad Bunny?
I would have went and saw Bad Bunny, man. I checked out some of his music and I actually kind of like it. I can't understand it, but I like it. But Marcus, I will point out, Marcus, one thing that you're really good at is giving me segues, and I appreciate the segue that you gave me, Marcus, because we're talking about identities, and NXT started off with an identity that I just don't know what's going on. Marcus, explain to me what your boy Kyle O'Reilly is doing.
Pause. Cool, Kyle.
I'm going to call him. I'm calling him Kyle O'Reilly. I refuse to acknowledge him as Cool Kyle. Marcus, explain to me, what is he doing, Marcus?
And he's being himself, and let him be himself. He wasn't able to do that in Undisputed. He wasn't able to do that in anywhere else because he was shackled by Bobby Fish. He is now free to be whoever the hell he wants, and he has chosen the life of a hipster. And that's what he has chosen. It didn't bother me as much as it seemed like it bothers you, or the rest of the internet.
Well, the backlash of him wearing the denim jacket was atrocious.
The funny thing about that backlash,
before the trash bag incident, that was the biggest news story in the rest.
Well, the funny thing about the backlash is I didn't even associate it with Orange Cassidy. I just thought it was an ugly look. I thought his shirt was stupid. I thought his hat was stupid. I told Marcus, this is why Kyle O'Reilly can't be by himself, because this is what happens when he's by himself.
No, you leave Mandarin O'Reilly alone.
But you know who was firing this segment? That was Cameron Grimes. I appreciate Cameron Grimes trying to buy his way to the top with his money. It's just,
I'm being on your own DraftKings. Ain't nothing like gambling and wrestling.
Let me tell you, when he found out he lost his NFT to the $1 Million Man, I look forward to the $1 Million Man payoff with Cameron Grimes. Like, they have to call in Ted DiBiase for that. Right, Manny?
They have to. But I want Ted DiBiase to return with Virgil. It needs to be done. It needs to be. I don't even care if they get cancelled. It needs to be done.
Biggest ratings draw ever. $1 Million Man and Virgil standing in the ring to start your show. And you're going like, what the fuck is getting ready to happen here? This is a 2021. I would watch that in a minute. just to stare at between Cameron Grimes and DiBiase. Nothing has to happen. Nothing has to happen.
Is it weird that I kind of want this to go on for the rest of the year? I don't want him to come. I don't want him to meet till like the end of the year.
Gentlemen, Wes
and
B. Moore has a very quality question in the chat room. He would like to know where has Xia Li been. What happened to Xia Li, Marcus?
She's currently in the Forbidden Realm.
Well, if we're talking about dragons and that vignette, maybe Alistair Black is teaming up with Xia Li, and they have called Tien Shaw, Xia Li, and Boa up to the main roster to join Alistair Black. Maybe that's where we're going with this. When we talk about dragons, that woman's been around for 1,000 years. She knows something about dragons.
All right, so LA Knight cut a promo, and I can tell you this boy can talk. You know, surprisingly, his match against Dexter Lumis wasn't as bad as it could have been, but I really enjoyed the more interaction about Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. Marcus, what was your overall impressions of LA Knight and Dexter Lumis?
I thought it was a better match that had any reason to be. Like, you go like, oh, this is happening, huh? All right, here we go. It's gonna, but it was a solid match. And then, coming back with a commercial break, it was basically over when you got more of the Index storyline.
But the entire match happened in picture-in-picture. It was like every all the other bits were basically set up to the end, because everything that was good about this match happened in a tiny box.
Yeah, because it was like. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, go.
No, I was gonna say it was like they were more focused on telling the story between the relationship between Indy and Dexter instead of actually highlighting what these two competitors were doing inside of the ring. And I think it's a mixed bag, but overall, I still find it more enjoyable because I was connected to Dexter. I was connected to LA Knight, but I think more so you're connected to the Way trying to stop Indy from achieving the Way. But I thought she got some, but apparently she didn't. We don't know what happened with her in
the training room. Dexter is not sleeping with unconscious women that will get you thrown in jail. He is not Bill Cosby.
I'm just saying, Candice LeRae is going to make a fantastic mom. Where she's handling
Papa
the situation.
John.
Papa John.
Papa John's like the hell is too. Good people. But here's my real question about this, because you brought it up on the show this week, Manny, and you guys brought up it again in this week. Picture in picture. Is that not dead yet? We're not in war anymore. The war times are over. Okay? These are the peaceful times. We don't need picture-in-picture anymore. Let's just go to commercial.
I agree.
Go to commercial.
Well, NXT, it doesn't necessarily... NXT, it doesn't necessarily matter. Whereas AEW still have that Fight TV deal where they still show it on there. So that picture-in-picture on AEW is going to exist. But they're still going to have a little box. Regardless, because they can do that. But like NXT, you don't really necessarily need the box anymore.
I think for me, one of my favorite parts of the match is when LA Knight is talking to Indy Hartwell, and he's telling her, you're worried about that in the ring when you have all this in front of you, and like Indy could care less about LA Knight, and I enjoy it.
That's a 40-year-old man. He's 20 years older than her.
And as Wes said, the way dealing with these immature Austin and Indy is intriguing. Like seeing how it frustrates Johnny and Candice. Like watching them be Papa John and Mama Candice, I would have to say, I hated Candice LeRae. But we must admit, when they had dinner at the Garganos, things took a turn for the better. And it's amazing how... Huh?
It sounds like you're reading.
Oh, well, you never know.
Well, I think it was a bit annoying with Candice when she was face. It was because she kept just getting involved in everyone else's business, and like she was also tied into the Tommaso and Johnny story so much that she wasn't even really wrestling at that point. So the moment she turned heel was the moment she started becoming interesting.
Manny, I need you to be calm right now because I'm about to say something that Wes said and pop up to El Luchador.
Before you go into him and pop up to El Luchador. Candice is still getting into people's business, even as a heel, because he won't let Indy, and Dexter do their thing.
So Wes Manny said that Toni Storm is part Ashley Massaro, top, and part Nyla Rose, bottom. How do you feel about Wes?
So he's basically saying she was a former man down at the bottom. Where's you, a very strange man?
And El Luchador says Tony Storm is so fine. But you know what? Let me tell you something. I'll tell you, when Io Shirai sat down with Beth Phoenix, I was looking at Io. I was like, look at Io. Got her hair did. Her hair was on point right there. I was like, man, I ain't never seen her hair.
Looked at Io like that.
That was the last part of that interview that I cared about, because when they started showing the video, like Marcus said on Thursday, when they showed Io take that bump, she was like, oh, that really hurt.
Beat up like he's dead. Jesus.
But Marcus, I know your girl is Frankie Monet and the dog.
The dog is the star, Eric. It's only the dog. It's only Prince.
I refuse to acknowledge that dog by its name.
That dog is the star. He has a rock.
That dog is going to be wearing that shirt that says "Acknowledge me," and you will acknowledge that dog.
Maybe I will one day. I just don't know when that day is going to be.
That dog got the Triple H point, Eric. The dog got the Triple H point.
He did. It did.
That dog's the MVP of NXT, and you need to put respect to his name.
Saying that, I put that as the thumbnail, and then I still made a thumbnail that he decided he wanted on instead of.
Kudos to John Morrison on his wife. Hopefully they can do some things together. Who is John Morrison's wife?
We've said this numerous times. Yeah,
really?
We've said this like 700 times.
Hold on 1 second. The producer is speaking to me. Oh, they're nice. You like them? Oh, that's great.
He didn't even mute himself. He didn't even mute himself.
You know, like,
I did not mute myself.
But Eric, I want to say, bravo, good job on not muting yourself.
Yeah, I did great. Speaking of not muting myself, Grizzled Young Breton finally got a win against Breezango. Is there anything that we need to say about that? Because I don't know if they've ever won.
The disrespect to the Royal Guards and on Thursday, the amount of questions I had about Royal Guards, which I didn't fucking know the answer to.
Eric, come on, ask your question. Eric, what are your questions about the Royal Guards? Ask Manny. You know them now. I'm actually prepared for today, Manny. I'm preparing you for life, okay? Okay, I'm preparing you for life.
Marcus, I don't have any questions about the Royal Guards.
I'm preparing you for life.
I understand the Royal Guards. I don't have any questions.
What the Royal Guards is? Explain to me what they do.
They're there to protect the Queen.
Fuck all that. Do you think they can protect the Queen from a real good fighter? Let's say you walk into the Royal Guards and let's say you throw hands. I'm not saying you're the best fighter. Do you think they can throw hands? Or if you're on the battlefield, are you taking a Royal Guard or a Marine?
Do you understand the placement of the Royal Guards, Marcus? Do you know where they're placed at in front of Buckingham Palace?
Buckingham Palace, right there.
Mark, they're at the front lines. If you get past the Royal Guards, I'm pretty sure there's worse things waiting for you. Probably the Royal Navy if you get to the Queen. The Royal Guards are just the pawns of the chess game, Marcus.
You also realize the Queen is like 90 years old.
It's like, yeah, you know, you can blow on her and she dies probably.
You know, El Luchador, I wish the Sharpshooters had Raw ratings. What did he say?
That's not even Raw ratings. You've got NXT ratings while we have SmackDown ratings.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had the Raw ratings. I don't. So, Sarai made her debut. Manny, were you impressed with Sarai?
Kind of. I felt like Zoe Stark got more of her stuff in than Sarai did.
But, you know, AEW has kind of introduced me to is it Joshi or a Joe? I don't know this. Joshi style of wrestling. But I feel like WWE got the better one because I thought Sarai was pretty good. Marcus, what about you?
It's okay.
Well, you're just because you've got this one to compare to.
Manny, Eric, you pull that other side.
Oh my God, the sticker book. The sticker book has been. Oh, Manny, please wait, Manny, please come back. Please come back, Manny. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna be all for the same direction.
No.
We can do tug and roll. Let's get the segment back. But she's to me, she was nothing really special. She looked like she hits hard. Again, this is another loss in which Zoe Stark looked like, hey, Zoe Stark, I can make some money off Zoe Stark. Again, against someone else in another losing effort. Zoe Stark is Teflon, in which every match she loses. But every match you go, Zoe Stark, huh? She gonna be something one day.
Let me tell you, Zoe Stark might be the best loser in NXT right now. And as Wesley said, no security in the NXT parking lot again. Zoe just rolled up on her outside.
Well, you saw the security. They were in a match with the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Well, she had that guy with her bag. That guy.
Who, like her dad.
Now,
the real
guy. So, one of the more things when NXT debuted on Tuesday, we had the shocking victory of Kushida winning the NXT Cruiserweight title. This week, it reminded us why no one cared about the Cruiserweight title because it was Kushida versus Oney Lorcan. Marcus, do we really need to see Oney Lorcan on NXT anymore?
Yes. And I'm going to say that violently. Oney Lorcan is the best hand in wrestling. The best hand. He's never going to be shit. But he can give you a good match 9 out of 10 times with anybody. Oney Lorcan is a good wrestler who ain't shit.
Kushida paid a price becoming a Cruiserweight champion. He lost his damn shoes.
He did.
He traded his shoes for the title.
I don't the same feet. Maybe he auditioned for Mortal Kombat and was like, damn, you know what? Feeling the feet on the ground makes me feel like a stronger competitor. I didn't understand the shoe switch, but whatever.
I'm going to say Eddie Keeks took his shoes because Eddie Keeks has always be stealing shoes. He stopped stealing people's shoes. I'm assuming that's what happened to his shoes.
I'm gonna move through this quicker. Everrise made an appearance on NXT. They fought Imperium. Manny, Marcus Boy, Everrise don't do their intros no more. So you could tell me, speak on Marcus' behalf like he's not here. Does Marcus like Everrise now?
He does. He still likes Everrise, but they're actually saying that they are Kevin Owens' favorite tag team at the moment on commentary. And they have their own show, which is ridiculous, and it probably does more numbers than both of us combined.
Yeah. I would say more than all 200 and something episodes of we done in this year, or whatever number it is. I'm sure Everrise has more views all combined.
And the main event. And Marcus, what did you think about the main event between Kyle O'Reilly and Cameron Grimes? I thought it was a good match. How about yourself?
That was a good match. That was really good. It was, Cameron Grimes, other than being a mid-carder, can moonlight every now and then in the main event. But he was there to lose, and he lost, and it was fine.
He said moonlight as a main eventer. Man, I think you have Cameron Grimes a little bit higher than Marcus. Do you think he's more than a moonlighter of the main eventer?
Eric, in my own notes I wrote for Thursday, I have written down as Cool Kyle versus main event Grimes. So I believe Grimes is fully main event, and I think he should be the one that takes it away from the trash can that is Karrion Kross, just to fuel the fire of people that love him.
I would love for Cameron Grimes to take the title.
How depressed you guys gonna be when he go up to Raw?
Who? When Cameron Grimes is called up to Raw?
Cameron Grimes. Yeah. How depressed are you gonna be? Vince is gonna get one random reel like that's a good character. We don't have Heath Slater around here no more to do that.
Well, just imagine Cameron Grimes and Matt Riddle backstage.
Mark, I'm sorry. I think that
Vince's move already at the table. Bro nuts, rated RK bro. He's like, I can make it all happen.
Marcus, I don't think Cameron Grimes on the main roster would be a bad thing personally, because I think you need somebody like Cameron Grimes. No one expects Cameron Grimes to win. I think it would be a bigger loss for NXT if he went up to the main roster, in my opinion.
He won't be featured, Eric. He won't be featured. It would just be a loss. We all lose in this scenario. Once he goes to the main roster, it's all over for him. Remember, Billie Kay could have been that Cameron Grimes spot on the main roster. They got rid of her just as soon as they got rid of Pay.
Well, there's some things that we need to talk about right now.
We going in the trash on NXT and Raw since you got rid of both. What's the Mickey James trash?
Cool Cow, Marcus. Cool Cow is going into the trash. Him in that jacket. Manny, where are you throwing into the trash?
I am throwing on NXT nothing. I liked NXT.
Did you like NXT better than SmackDown, or do you think SmackDown was better than NXT?
I think NXT was was good, but SmackDown was almost like a flawless show. Raw, you could throw almost all of it in the bin, except Matt Riddle, and Randy Orton, I would say. And learning about Lily would like to push people off shit.
On Raw, I'm putting T-Bar and Mace Mass in the trash, but leaving them there. As in, they may actually do something with them now that they no longer have the retribution shit. And on NXT, the one thing I'm throwing in the trash is this blood feud between Sir Scott and Leon Ruff. I don't know where we're going with this. Where are we going? He's hitting lockers now? Where are we going? This can't end in a Nigerian drum match. It just can't. It's too dangerous.
Well,
Eric left out the bit about Leon Ruff and Swerve.
Betty, I left that out intentionally. I don't care how many lockers Leon Ruff bangs on. I'm sorry. If I have somebody like Leon Ruff talk about they coming for me, I'm not gonna be shaking in my boots. Like you can be as mad as you want, Swerve. I mean, Leon, I don't care. I just don't care.
By the way, we should start taking bets for the next Fandango entrance because they disrespected the entire UK with being Royal Guards.
Oh, was that why you guys brought up the Royal Guards? People were upset about that.
No, it just like when you are when you are the foreigner, you get asked so many questions about what you did. So like if there was an Australian in front of me, be like, so in Australia, so many questions as if.
How about those kangaroos?
Hey, Marcus,
as if you were supposed to know.
Do you eat at Outback Steakhouse?
Marcus, do you want me to get Breezango canceled? Because I know what I can do to get him canceled.
You can't get them canceled. No one watches us.
No, but go ahead. No, I said we can get Breezango canceled. Have them dress up like Black Panthers. Just come out there, putting fists up in the air. I think people will be hot.
Why would you want that?
I just said I could get them canceled. The look on Marcus' face is like, you want to. Marcus want to see it though.
No, I don't. That would be so sad.
The smile on your face tells me you do.
Fandango and an afro, green in a beret.
Marcus, you're taking it even worse. I didn't say anything about an afro. I said just a beret with the African necklace on.
Nope. They'll be canceled.
All right. With that being said, let's talk about something that should be canceled, and that's only thing I can say is AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite.
1 billion views. How dare you?
I don't care. They can have 1 billion views, but people can watch shit all the time and think there's still something good. I would have started off with the thing that drove me crazy. Their big acquisition, their most recent signing, Christian Cage, decided to have a match with Hobbs. I did not like this match. I did not care for this match. I do not like Hobbs. I do not like Christian. And I don't care if he is the hardest worker in the room. Why did you like this match, Marcus, if you did like this match?
I did like this match. I thought it was a solid match. You know, it was nothing crazy. It was really, just like a solid match. I don't know. It looked like Christian been through hell. That he barely survived Will Hobbs and his fat ass and everything, and he barely made it. I thought it was a solid match. I don't understand why you starting this AEW show, this review, as a bashing of AEW, and then start with a match that was actually good.
If there was anything to hate, it was Billy Gunn versus QT Marshall.
That was the thing,
which is why I left it out completely of the review. And then Marcus wanted to talk about it. That's why I put him in a little box.
We're gonna start off with that because I would agree, Marcus. The match was wrestled. The match was wrestled well because you know what? It was too much FTW for me because they started to show off too. You had Absolute Ricky Starks going against Hangman Adam Page, and
which was a good match.
Yeah, but I'm just tired of seeing Team Taz lose. I think they have too much stake in it. Yes, it was a fine and it was a solid wrestle match. Both Page and Cage did very well. Hey, that rhymed right there. They did very well in that situation.
He had nothing at all. You talking about 2 separate matches.
Yes, Christian Cage, Mark. He is Christian Cage with his Brian Cage older brother, but they don't know that they got the same daddy.
By the way, you can't say Page because we could be talking about the last segment where Ethan Page attacked. I have no idea what Page you're talking about. It could be Diamond Dallas Page. It could be Xavier Woods Page. I don't know.
Kimberly Page.
Talking about. I mean, we are out of pages, okay? There's so many pages that we can write a book.
I mean, to the credit of Page and Starks, and I'm talking about Adam, they did have a solid match. I just don't know if the team task is going anywhere. It just seems like they're all spinning in circles. Like, what do you say, Marcus?
Do you remember when they signed Ricky Starks and we thought he was going somewhere, being in AEW?
Yeah.
And now where he is at, and when we thought the whole division was going to be run around Adam Page at the get-go, now he's just like, he's at the top of the rankings, but he's never going to get that title shot because there's so much bullshit going on with that title.
And I think the biggest bullshit is that he had to sell a beatdown from Hook, who might have the worst kicks in the game. Those kicks was bad. Very bad.
I'm sorry. Have you seen the Miz kicks? They are terrible.
Yeah, but he's still the Miz. He's been a WWE champion.
Wait a minute.
Lana, where a camera has to save her kicks. A camera angle has to save Lana's kicks.
You can't talk bad kicks without talking about Peyton Royce and Billy Kay's kicks. Billy Kay has the boot, but Peyton Royce kicks are bad. When they do that little taxi move, and they do the spin, and then they do that kick, those are some bad kicks. So we can't talk about who had the worst kicks in the game without bringing up the Iconics, who I love. And I hate to say it, but they have the worst kicks in the game.
You can't because they're not currently in the game, Marcus. So we have to talk about current players in the game right now. Shout out to BK.
So Manny, I had to ask Marcus a question because I didn't know. He didn't know the answer though. Why does Trent have a question mark at the end of his last name when he fought Penta El Zero? Huh?
Trent? You say it like that. That's how he wants it to be said, as if it was a question. You say his name as if it was a question.
Damn. I kind of liked it better when I didn't have an answer because that's pretty bad.
That's the logical answer when you put a question mark after anything, though.
Marcus, I know you've been a big supporter of Penta El Zero for a long time, but Marcus, the way that this match ended,
that's a sin. Like that's a sin.
Mark, the way that this match ended, did it just leave a bad taste in your mouth? I mean, Penta won, but really?
That's how I felt about all the Dynamite matches like this week. They're put on solid matches, but there's so much shit going around it and nonsense that is unnecessary. The Yo Mama joke or whatever. He's like, Yo Mama sucks Trent, and then Trent and his bad hairline goes after him and whatnot. And I'm just like, whatever. I didn't need that. Just have a win. Have Penta win.
It was going good till that moment happened, though. That was the real problem with it. That match was actually good till that ending happened.
But I think this is what's the story with AEW, and I guess when a person like myself who is not a big AEW fan, or I wouldn't even say some people may call me a hater, but like a person who doesn't understand the product. Some. There's a few out there who may say that I could be a hater. But I think overall that at the end of the day, it's always that AEW, they're doing well, and then they decide just to do too much. It's like you have a perfect dish in the pan right there, and you like it tastes good, and you say, you know what, I think I need more salt, and you just dump the whole thing of salt in there, and it's like, I don't need all this.
That's not the food analogy we need to go with, Eric. And I'm disappointed you being a host of a world famous cooking show that's gonna come out one of these days.
It's currently just a picture show on his Instagram story, so follow his Instagram.
Well, currently his wife has a script for him, but who knows where that goes? She said he's gonna do it, and whatever Shantae says, that's law. That's like Ember's law. But that
just made him more angry.
Yeah. So,
but he
with
ain't
that
lying,
being said, the analogy you should have used was that here I have a beautiful, great potato salad. And did, out of nowhere, AEW sprinkles raisins all over it. That's what you should have went with. Should have went with the raisins.
Yeah, but why do people... I actually need to understand is why do people do that to potato salad?
Manny. That's the thing. I don't know why people do it. I've never heard people do that until I start hearing people make jokes about people putting raisins in potato salad. It don't belong, man. It just don't belong.
That's the raisins. But that is where AEW were with their matches. Oh, this is good. We have a good dish here. You know what'll make this shit better? Throw some raisins on that motherfucker. And they did it.
So, the thing that really bothered me a lot with AEW this week, and I think it had to be their obsession with promos. We had the promo where Pinnacle... obsession. We had the promo... No, but it's like... Pinnacle.
That's your childhood with wrestling
No,
promos.
but Pinnacle cut a promo talking about the promo that Jericho cut the week prior, and they kept referring to the promo. Instead, back in the day, like it's too much in the know. Like the fact that you keep acknowledging that this is a promo bothered me. And then when you have Wardlow finally talked, and I thought what he said was fine, but everybody else in Pinnacle looked like they're just carrying MJF's bags and stuff. And then you think, okay, that's it. And then it's directly followed with the Inner Circle giving a direct rebuttal to what they just said. And I'm just like, I don't need all of this in my life. I don't need the rebuttal to the promo, then the rebuttal to the promo rebuttal. Like, I didn't need it. Manny.
So I said something similar, but I because I'm kind of just done with this whole thing. Pinnacle, not the FTR, Pinnacle and
FTR is in Pinnacle, Inner Circle.
Yeah, Pinnacle and Inner Circle. I'm just done with it. Like, even I'm done completely with the Inner Circle. Is that I just didn't really enjoy the segment as a whole, including the Inner Circle bit that happened later in the night, where Jericho was trying too hard to be funny.
Yeah,
he was trying too hard with that show tune. It wasn't funny, and the fact that this is going to continue next week, where they have their little their battle discussion in the ring. It just,
the parlay.
The parlay. You know, you're just going to get more of that shit, and it's going to be fucking boring again. That I didn't like it, but then Marcus was telling me how he enjoyed it. And goes tell speak your truth, Marcus.
I'm right here. I'm right here. Please don't speak for me because you're about to say something wrong. You enjoyed
it. You said
he seemed kind of defensive right now.
Yeah, because I am. Because Manny is thinking my words and he is saying it wrong. Okay? Manny and Eric, what I said was I hated the Jericho part of this. But I enjoyed the MJF and Wardlow promo. I thought MJF brought it. He said enough, about Jericho, and he talked a lot of shit and whatnot, and he's talking about he's a B and A, C, and he did some algebra in his promo or whatever he was talking about, and it was a good promo. I was fine with that. The Jericho aspect and the Inner Circle aspect, and them coming out with the rebuttal, I thought that part sucked, and it kind of ruined the feud. But the feud isn't really there because the Inner Circle seems to beat their ass every single week.
And Marcus, surprisingly, I'm going to agree with you. I thought what MJF and the rest of Pinnacle did was great. I thought that was fine. I thought they responded.
No, there is no rest of Pinnacle. There's MJF.
Marcus, okay? I'm going to talk to him as a group, Marcus.
Were not there.
Marcus.
They are not there. Did you really see Sean Spears?
I did. Because I pointed out.
What color was his mohawk this week?
It was black.
If you see,
it was black. I told you it was black. I saw him back there. And I also saw the Bret Hart socks that Dax, was it Dax or is it Cash? I think it's Dax was wearing.
What is the axe? What has Cash?
So, something in the chat. So, Wes has said, if I was a random wrestler, I'm getting to work really early and waiting in Gorilla in case anybody throws out an open challenge. JK Smush goes, what if you're first in line and it's Bobby Lashley issuing the open challenge? Wes then replies, I'm probably going to get beat by Lashley, then I'm going to go back to Gorilla and wait for the next open challenge. Correction, you are going back in a body bag.
Yeah, the next open challenge is going to be you in a coma trying to get out of it.
Let me just tell you, know what? This might be the most ridiculous question I've ever asked, but I'm going to ask this question anyway. Marcus, I'm going to ask you first. If you were going to wait for open challenges, which show would you wait for open challenges on?
It doesn't matter if I'm WWE or AEW
doesn't
or
matter.
Impact.
Which show are you going to wait for somebody to issue open challenges? Because I know which show I'm picking. Because I think I can beat that whole locker room's ass. But Marcus, which show are you picking?
Well, I want to be the world heavyweight champion and not anybody's secondary mid-card champion. I know I can destroy Darby Allin. So I can take the TNT title whenever I want. But because I want to have a world heavyweight champion, I will rip Rich Swann in half.
So Marcus is going. Marcus. So let me understand. You're picking a show that has less views than this show. Impact.
Yes.
Okay.
I will become world heavyweight champion.
To lose to Kenny Omega. Manny, where are you going to wait for your open challenges at?
I'll fight Kenny.
I just wait for our truth to come by.
So, Manny, you're gonna pick Raw, but you're only gonna accept the open challenge for the 24/7 championship.
It's always about quantity, never about quality. I can get that 24 title whenever I want, how many times I want. I want to be like R-Truth, my new hero, 46-time 24/7 champion.
And you know what? I'm gonna wait at AEW because I know Sheeta's gonna issue that open channel. I'm gonna come out there and whoop her ass, and I'm gonna take that ugly ass belt and throw it into the trash bin.
You're gonna beat a woman.
You can do that. You can do that at AEW.
Yeah, Eric, I still think she'll beat you up with that stick.
She probably would. She probably would.
She's quicker. She's quicker than you.
You know what?
More agile.
You know what?
She's been doing pole dancing on her Instagram. She's more agile.
Manny, can you explain to me why that is happening? Because I see it and I'm like, what is she to do?
Apparently, it's good exercise for women. Apparently.
So clearly, Manny has came across that too. Be like, what are you doing? And then you just keep going.
The first thing was it came down on the feed. It was her. It was the image of her in the stripper pole, and I was like, huh.
Yes.
Okay. And then I scrolled later on in the day, and I was like, oh, there's a video too. Okay.
No, it's funny, Marcus, because I don't know. You probably don't follow Sheeta on Instagram.
I don't.
But Marcus, it's like it's a point where AEW had a meeting with Sheeta. It was like, we need you to build more traction on your Instagram. We need you to be more thirsty, like, you know, thirst trapping. Because she started like posting pictures, like it's been pictures posted where she has no clothes on. I'm like, what are you doing, Sheeta?
They're not even good photos.
No,
they're not even good photos.
Let me tell you this about Sheeta. It's her thirst trapping people. Her father, and I know at one point said, don't go to America, you're going to end up stripping and naked on Instagram. And he was like, no, I won't. And now she is, disgracing the family name.
But Manny,
with that women's title.
Manny, I will say, yes, her Instagram pictures is not the best. However, I felt that she had a really good match with Tay Conti for the AEW women's title. Manny,
whose Instagram pictures are better?
Tay Conti's Instagram pictures are a lot better than Sheeta's pictures. Huh?
She on the pole. I know she's not. I know she's not on the pole.
Everybody, breaking news. West is right. Follow Natty, Thirst Trap of 2020 Award. Natty does have some thirsty ass pictures on her Instagram.
Yeah, but I don't.
And her sister.
Yes.
Shit.
On their YouTube channel.
Yeah, but then you hear Natty talk, and then the photo becomes like, oh, I don't want to see this.
Yeah, you want me?
Natty sounds like the woman that's at the gas station that has been smoking 60 a day.
No. As I told Marcus on SmackDown, she was dressed like she was in the 50s. She also sounds like she's from the 50s too. It's like, what do you want to do?
Marcus reminds me of Patty and Selma from The Simpsons. Sister-in-laws.
But Marcus,
and she's still dressed like she's Beth from Dog the Bounty Hunter.
What did you think about Sheeta versus Tay Conti?
Oh, that was probably one of the matches of the week. It was a really good match. Well, really done. I don't think much of Sheeta as a wrestler, but I thought this was one of her better matches, and Tay Conti carried her to the only problem was the Dark Order walking out with Tay Conti because I do not care.
You know.
I'm like, it's just too many random dudes, and it's just I don't understand why this is happening. But other than that, the match was fine. I really enjoyed it, and Tay Conti proved to be a number one contender. But Britt Baker pointing at that with the PowerPoint presentation of the ranking system, she done moved up.
Manny, would you agree with the statement that the women's division in AEW has kind of, in some ways, surpassed the men's division?
No, I think Thursday, me and Marcus did kind of ranked it above Raw and SmackDown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just NXT and possibly Impact is probably just above them.
Yep.
And so
the AEW women's division, Eric, starting from the bottom, are now the number 2 best women's division in the world.
So Marcus had something in common today when he said he was going to fight Rich Swann. Russo cut a promo saying that he was going to fight somebody. So pretty much, Marcus, I'm pretty sure he's going to kick Darby Allin's ass And I can't wait for this to happen. I hope Miro beats Darby Allin. Do you agree with me, Marcus?
Yes. I would appreciate that very much. But Rusev, I don't know. I don't take the man serious since chasing Nathan Miro. I'll believe it when I see it. When I actually see him do something. Or to talk in some Kane area room and yell, talk about, I'm going to do something. Then do it. No one is stopping you.
Manny, do you have anything to speak on Rusev? Because we're about to talk about the most important thing, and I think you might want to pull yourself off the screen.
It's Miro. I'll call Rusev again when he get Lana back.
I'm like much like Marcus. I'll believe it when I see it.
So Marcus, I know Manny wouldn't allow you to talk about this, but we're gonna talk about 57-year-old Billy Gunn going against QT Marshall.
7.
His son said that's a 57-year-old man in that ring right there. I think Billy Gunn might be 57. Marcus, I'm gonna fact check that. Marcus,
I know the Billy Gunn and his kids can't do math.
Marcus, this was the match that
he's 57.
Yeah,
1st of November.
Wow, yes.
And let's just point out that he looks better than a good majority of the AEW roster, which is saying, Marcus, is it just me or does QT Marshall look like he doesn't want to show up to work? Like his smug look just looks like we need to send him home in the trash bag.
That's the look of somebody that don't have it. Okay, that don't have it, and I don't just mean in the wrestling industry. I mean we all work with the guy who don't have it. You see walking around the office, he's like, "Nah, they wouldn't dare promote that guy," and that guy never should get promoted. He just walk around, you're like, "That's who QT Marshall is. He is a nobody. He is a nothing. He is just a guy, and he shouldn't be on TV."
Also, if you don't know that person at your job, you're that person.
Yeah.
So Manny,
look around.
I'm going to ask you this question because I'm going to go back and forth on this. What do you feel about the people that QT Marshall has surrounded himself with?
Garbage. Absolute trash.
No, hold on, Manny. You can't say that team's absolute garbage when they have your boy from your native country.
No. He's been disowned.
Anthony Ogogo.
Manny, I know you tried to disown him last week, but this is your countryman, and Marcus and I are giving you Anthony Ogogo.
You're now associated with Anthony Ogogo.
Eric, Ember Moon is your country person, so you can be quiet, sir.
Manny, I will take Ember Moon before I would take Anthony Ogogo, and I'll let that be known.
Eric, don't make me dig deeper into the bag of people you dislike, because they all appear to be American.
QT Marshall's on that list. So Marcus, you pointed out something that was very interesting. The big burly looking man, a part of the factory, that's just QT Marshall's crew, could not handle beating up the Austin kids, who we've never seen fight on Dynamite. Never seen fight. But then later, he gets into the ring and gets hit with one of the most interesting looking wooden chairs in the ring, and he no-sells that chair. Marcus, what's wrong with AEW in that whole segment?
Before we go further, Eric, I see a show of hands from everybody on the show that if they set that chair would have broke. That's a weak ass chair. If I'm surviving a chair shot, please hit me with please hit me with the bullshit I'm sitting on right now. If you think that would hurt more. But I don't understand why he no-sold that chair shot when he was getting his ass whooped in his Klansman coat in the background. And that's the only reason I know he was getting his ass whooped. And because he had that bright-ass white jacket on in the background. And just getting the business from the Guns and everybody else around. But when it came to that wooden chair, apparently he's impervious to wood and splinters. That's he can take. Oh my God.
So
this whole segment is nonsense. I don't understand. I understand why we get it because Cody says, all right, you guys get to be the Bullet Club and the EVPs. You guys get to have everything you want. And Hangman Page, you can drink on air and whatnot. Give me something. Give me the factory angle.
Now, Marcus,
we already don't have Brady. I'm taking all responsibility for this.
Calm down because I have a question for Manny. But before I ask this question to Manny, I want to let Manny know someone in the chat room, J.K. Smush, sided with you. He said Karrion Kross is Eric's countryman. That's a fair point. I can't stand Karrion Kross either.
And you know what, Eric? I would take Anthony Ogogo right there to punch you in the stomach with that one punch.
And then Wes went back to our conversation about females. He says one of the main problems in women's wrestling is the international talent. They may be good workers, but they can't talk. Sheeta's a good wrestler, I guess, but I don't care about her or the Warrior of the Sun. I mean, I can understand what he's saying in that situation. Oh, wow. So, Manny, the question that I have for you is that after the match between QT Marshall and Billy Gunn, a save was...
There was nothing after that.
It was, Marcus. A save happened where Dustin Rhodes got into the ring.
Oh.
And...
hold on. Before we go... You talk about Anthony Ogogo punching Billy Gunn to win the match. Should the referee have stopped the match considering what happened last week? Because he didn't punch this week. But Billy Gunn was grasping for his life at the hour. I would have stopped the match on principle.
Imagine being a wrestler of how many years, and then someone goes to tell you, you got to sell this one punch. You got to sell it like you've been hit with a Hadouken to the chest.
So,
like someone with a cannonball, and you said I can take that cannonball, and they shot you in the stomach with that cannonball. That's how you can take that.
So, Manny, the question I have for you: we all know Dustin Rhodes made the save. My question: his face paint, was that a tribute to Shark Boy, or did he just decide to paint the bottom of his face with blue and red stripes?
He's been doing that recently. The whole time. He's just been not on TV to notice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well,
but Eric, my question to you.
Oh wait, he has a question for me.
You've been beaten up. You've been beaten up. You've been taken down by the factory. Do you stay your ass down, or do you want an old ass man of Dustin Rhodes coming to save you?
Well, Manny, if you're already 57 years old, you got to realize everybody coming out to save you is already younger than you. So technically, Dustin Rhodes was a younger man saving him.
I don't know. I think Dustin may got him. The only person that can save him is a bunch of OB. The senior citizen division in AEW is deep.
Dustin's 52.
Yeah, so he's a young man, Marcus. He's a young man.
Young whippersnapper came out and said that young up and coming talent.
Okay, but would you still want to be saved by Dustin Rhodes?
With that face paint on? No. No.
If I'm saved by Dustin Rhodes, I realize that something in my life went wrong and no one really likes me. If
anything, if QT Marshall and his boys have taken me down, and I've still got one last breath in me, I was like, put me in the ground. I don't want anything else ever again.
I don't want to hear the story. I got beat up by QT Marshall and his boys.
Well, because I know the people are waiting for Mortal Kombat, so we need to move this along. Let's talk about the one.
It looked like he just got finished eating somebody's birthday cake and was covering his face.
He did. So, can we talk about the elephant in the room? Might have been one of the worst segments I have ever seen on AEW, and that was the segment with the Elite, with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Like,
I forgot about this, and then you said it, and I went, "Oh, yeah, that happened."
Manny wants to go first.
I don't even remember this happening, even when we reviewed it. Because I forgot, because I was busy again that day, and I didn't watch AEW during the day. I had to watch it in a variation of _2 and ×4 speed. I was watching one of those matches at ×4, and I did not bother to put it back when this was happening. All I saw was the aftermath with Moxley and
Kingston.
And Ed Kingston when he threw the thing and it nearly hit Kingston.
Yes. So,
hey, what about the way, Jesus?
Let me put it this way. The thing that I thought was only positive about this would be Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I thought they were the best. I thought. So, Marcus, the question in the chat room was, would you rather be saved by Dustin or Goldust?
Yo, definitely Goldust.
So, Marcus, I also said Goldust. But then,
I'm getting the natural, it's so useless.
But then J.K. Swish said, Dustin, you might have to pay back Goldust a favor.
Okay with that. Just say my life. Street cred. Go knows had a better career than the Natural, who was fighting on some big ring at one point.
No, so like when you go back to the Elite in that trailer to me felt a lot like Pinnacle and also the Inner Circle, where they're just talking shit for no reason, and I just didn't care about it. And then like Gallows had window duty, but his back was to the window, and it even looked like Marcus. What the hell was going on in that segment?
This is one of the most poorly edited segments on that history of television, probably in the history of television. That so many oversights were seen in this. Like none of this made sense. I was okay with them being in the promo and looking like just ridiculous as they were. Matt Jackson's outfit was even more ridiculous. Nick Jackson, they all look like different versions of Shawn Michaels in different points in his career, of different drug bits, depending on the drug Shawn Michaels was on that day. That's what they all look like. And Gallows has modeled Shawn Michaels because he has no hair. But when the segment happened and they're hitting the horn, and you look at it, it's like, oh, it's going to be a good old-fashioned Steve Austin kind of, I'm going to destroy a trailer and blow it up kind of deal. And then you get it, and then Gallows looking up the window, it's like, I don't know. And you cut the box, and Kingston, you're like, all right, they're going to ram it. And they do that weak-ass ram in the corner, and then you suddenly put all this together in your head. Wait a minute, that trailer had no windows. Wait a minute. There's no one in there? How did they disappear?
So, like,
what? None of this made sense.
Marcus.
That is clearly a bus they're on and not a trailer. Like, all of it just comes together as in, like, wait, how is this even possible that this happened?
But the worst part about it, Marcus, if they crashed into the trailer, and let's say, hypothetically, there was a window that was there, they would have saw the Elite running away from the side. They would have kept, like, it just, like, they can't be that quick.
No, they can't pull a Batman. They can't pull a Batman and just vanish on Gordon.
This was not, Marcus, this was not Mortal Kombat, and Lord Raiden did not transport them to some other realm to get away from them. It just didn't happen.
And if this happened on WWE, you would have at least got an unexplained explosion.
Yes.
or in WWE, you get the unexplained camera shot. The segment where I can relate to this the most is the time Braun Strowman decided to flip the Miz and John Morrison over as they were looking at him in the spy cam in their trailer, in which the camera was looking at eye to eye with Braun Strowman, which made no sense. I just thought this was worse than that.
So, Manny, because since you admit that you didn't see this part, I'm going to go to the last part and ask you about the main event. I thought Darby Allin and Jungle Boy had a very good match, but I think once again, AEW couldn't save them from themselves because after the match, after Darby wins, we get Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, we get Lance Archer, all in the ring, all doing madness. What did you take about the main event?
Eric, I didn't have a problem with that bit. The problem I had was, so what if Luchasaurus tried to help Jungle Boy get into the ring? as like Sting would have thought a count-out victory would have been credible, and then these two fight at the top of the ramp. Fucking ridiculous. Sting is a fraud.
So I literally forgot about that point, and honestly,
you sound like a kid who bet on Santa Claus wasn't real. Sting is a fraud. He's like Luchasaurus. He's a fraud.
He is. Fucking Stang. Tired of Stang.
So Marcus,
he's like the dinosaur to the back.
Mark, do you agree with Manny about his frustration with Stang and everything else going on?
Yes. Stang is the worst thing to happen to Darby Allin. Darby was okay by himself, but every single Darby match we have a Sting interaction that makes no sense. Remember that time he tried to punk the Dark Order? This was
the Dark
worse.
Order did nothing. The Dark Order did nothing.
Yes, Dark Order did nothing. And then the same thing, Luchasaurus did nothing. And now he has a kerfuffle with a dinosaur in the back. Only to come back and scare away all the young talent again. Sting is destroying Darby Allin. And I should be just talking about how Jungle Boy and Darby Allin put on a hell of a match for really two young wrestlers main eventing for a title that to me means more than their actual AEW title at the current moment. And I was like, this is something here. And then it ends with this kerfuffle of all these people, including the fucking Murder Hawk and Jake Roberts coming out the ramp. Why did all of this happen? Again, too many damn raisins in this match. I don't need any of this. I don't need any of this.
The thing
you Sting, you are a fraud.
The thing that really kind of perplexed me about the match too was something that the commentators brought attention to. And I didn't understand why we needed to bring attention to the size of Jungle Boy and Darby Allin. Like, oh, these guys might be small, but they really fight big. And I'm like, they're both the same size. We don't need to point out that they're smaller performers.
It's size conscious. Size conscious. You got, even though wrestling fans and wrestling announcers and wrestling people say size don't matter in wrestling. It's just how much you do the work in it. Nope, that Mystic Man logic of, I need to explain to you why these guys are smaller and what they can do. Okay? They're quick and they're dangerous.
So, I know for the other segments we have used trash bags, but I think in this one we have to use a trash container. What will we put in the trash for AEW Dynamite? Marcus, what goes into the trash for you?
QT Marshall, all his hair plugs, and the factory. And the remnants of that broken chair. All going into Mickey J's trash bag.
Okay. Anything else, Marcus?
I could throw Mox and them in there, but I enjoyed Mox and Eddie Kingston together and believe they deserve their own sitcom and them just attacking people.
So is your trash bag finished?
My trash bag is full for the week.
Manny?
Although I made some Mortal Kombat in there too.
Manny, what's in your AEW trash bag?
Well, first of all, it's not a trash bag, Eric. I've brought a dumpster. And I'm putting Billy Gunn, his kids, QT Marshall, and Stang! The fucking fraud.
Put Stang in there. The Stang is in the trash can.
All right, so for me, I'm going with FTW, Stang, and the Elite. Now, my question for you guys, because
Can I fall the same thing? All incorrect about what we put in our trash can and dumpsters. We should say we left it as is, because considering the show was a dumpster fire.
Well, that's
stuff I enjoyed. To be honest, I'm just saying.
No, like I said on Thursday, I think if I was to condense that show to an hour of the stuff I liked, I would have had a good show. And thrown out, if I've thrown out all the Pinnacle and Inner Circle stuff and Billy Gunn, QT Marshall, and that Elite stuff, I probably would have enjoyed that a lot better.
Do you guys ever, I guess, feel like you're missing the boat when people talk about how great they felt that AEW Dynamite was, and then you think about like, I don't see the greatness, and then I feel like me disagreeing with that person so much makes me hate the show a lot more than what I should? Manny, I turn to you.
Well, so I found it interesting this week. So obviously, I found it interesting this week because especially the rating of from the mid card mess of this show, and I think it was like a C or a C plus. And I felt that rating, but the rating was specifically because I think Isaiah was rating it, but it was because Will Hobbs lost to Christian Cage.
Yes.
So that brought down the rating. But I felt like there was other stuff that brought down that rating, because if the stuff I just mentioned like 2 minutes ago, that I liked, that would have easily got me a solid B minimum.
This should have been an A show. It should have been an A show. It's just they just added all this extra. They just, I don't know. It was just like, hey, it was like when you're getting a salad and I'll bring it back to the food and a person sprinkling that cheese on there. You don't honestly know when to stop. So they just let it keep going. They kept letting that Parmesan cheese go on that salad and they couldn't know when to stop. And now they're left with nothing but cheese and not salad.
You're getting salad from Papa John's.
Yeah.
I say Papa John. Did I say Papa John?
I don't know what you said. You got Johnny Gargano making you a salad?
I don't know. Someone's getting a salad.
No, but you know what, Manny? I think you're right, because when I saw that review, when they were talking about Will Hobbs and how it dropped it down, and I was just like, Will Hobbs has not been relevant in AEW since he stopped teaming with Jon Moxley. Like, he's one of the many people who had a ceiling where you thought that maybe something could happen for him, but the next thing you know, he got thrown into FTW and was put on the back burner, and nothing ever came of him. And I think that's what happens with AEW so much, because they continue to tell me that they're producing new stars, but yet you have Billy Gunn versus QT Marshall on your show, which could have really been used to highlight some of the people who don't get to wrestle anymore.
Well, do you know the interesting thing about QT Marshall is?
Oh, go ahead.
The interesting thing about QT Marshall is I rank him with Dustin Rhodes and believed he was like 50.
Yeah.
Apparently he's only 35.
Well, but Marcus, you bring up a good name. Like Ethan Page has been signed. I like Ethan Page. I think him and Scorpio Sky is a very interesting mix, but I thought Scorpio Sky wanted to be on his own, so now he's back in another tag team. I would like to know more about them, but unfortunately, I don't get that because I'm having so much meaningless things that's going on. It's a point where I think we have to stop putting Cody's remnants on the show just because Cody can't be on the show.
Here's what the problem is about AEW. Where people say they are creating and building new stars. Well, it seems like they start the building new stars and then they move on to try to build another star. That's what they seem like they do. Yeah, it seems like we have momentum around Jungle Boy, but then, oh no, we have Christian. Let's build around Christian. Oh, we're going to have Sammy Guevara doing stuff. Oh, but come on, let's build around so-and-so and next. It's like they start building, but they never finish anything.
But then there's that. And then they also move to the program. Well, let's pair him with an older guy to expand his name into like a more casual audience, which AEW are trying to grab by having him with the bigger, older star power. But like, I feel like if they just wiped that all out and just did carry on what they're doing, they may gain more traction because like all these old guys, you don't need them anymore. Like there was that gripe like whenever Goldberg comes around and then everyone gets onto WWE for bringing back an old dude. But like, look how many old dudes are in AEW.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that you kind of wish AEW would take the page out of Triple H book and instead of like showing up on TV, just post a picture on Instagram doing a Triple H point and like just have Sting point at Darby Allin or have Taz point at Will Hobbs. Like, I don't need them on there talking for him. Like next week, is it Brian Cage versus Darby Allin, I think, or something like that?
If you say Brian Cage, you have to do the who better.
Well, you know, it's.
But I don't know. It's some mix of that. It's a mix of Brian Cage versus somebody because of the kerfuffle that happened. I forgot. I think, is it Christian?
Maybe.
I don't remember. He came out like several times this night and Team Taz did their breakup.
It
feels like they were, you know, like the one thing we did bring up, and you talk about bringing in old guys that attach with them, is that unless they're bringing in Selena Vega to be Jay Cargill's manager, it better not be no old ass, tired ass, someone from the past.
No, Marcus, I
don't need that.
Mark, I totally forgot about her promo, but her promo was that all these people were trying to manage her, but at the same time, she don't need no manager unless somebody's gonna come in with a gang of money. And I'm like, I don't need to know that. I just don't.
No, but she clearly doesn't know how a manager works. You pay the manager. They don't pay you.
That's true. That's also true.
What do they pay? Hold on, I want to give you money so I can manage you. What's in it for you?
That's Jade Cargill, man. Clearly, you didn't see that part, Betty.
No, I didn't see it.
But Marcus, I'm going to allow you to have some more negativity because now, at the last part of the show, after 2 hours and 2 minutes in, Marcus, we can finally talk about Mortal Kombat. Hit the theme music again, Manny. Hit the theme music.
I can't do it now. I've got no more energy.
Mortal Kombat!
This is why we should have did it as the number 2 match where we had the energy. But Marcus Marcus the only person with energy.
If you want to talk about energy, it should be number 1. All right? If you want to have all your max energy for Mortal Kombat, it should be number 1.
So Marcus, what would you like to discuss about Mortal Kombat?
Well, it is the movie review of Mortal Kombat, the new one that came out, that was featured in theaters and on HBO Max. I personally watching it on HBO Max. That's why I have the subscription, so I can watch these movies when they come out. But I thought Mortal Kombat started off hot. Started off with a good match of a good old-fashioned Sub-Zero with and Rey Mysterio and Scorpion in her young age with a family in a fight. And I was like, this is starting off good. And then after that, I was like, oh, we're really getting into these characters. I do not care about anything else but the fights. That's all I cared about.
No, let's be real. I think the biggest problem with the movie, and I'll be the first one to say I like the movie. I think the protagonist, Cole Young, might have been the worst protagonist in the entire movie. Like, I could care less about him. I cared about every other character outside of him.
Oh wait, we should preference. If you haven't watched this, it's gonna be spoilers. So if you carry on listening, this is your fault. I didn't.
Stop. All 5 people, stop watching right now. Stop. And if you want to skip to the end of the show to the Mortal Kombat review, go ahead, because that's what we do. We should have prefaced that at the beginning.
What we'll probably do is we'll probably cut this and then put it as a separate video as well. If you don't even get to this part when you watch this, because the show's long.
It is. It is.
But I didn't understand how that person and his entire family defeated Goro on their own. 2 people with no powers at all.
Damn, he's jumping to the back part. Well, Betty, you know that axe shot was really good.
We should have broken down to matches, because this was all just a bunch of matches thrown together.
Well, so my big issue I had with the Goro fight is like, was Goro pulling punches? Like, was he not putting everything on it? Because when he threw old girl against the car, she should have been dead, right? Like, she should have been dead.
Cole Young, as you call him, allegedly. I don't honestly remember his name.
Who? Cole Young.
But
it's Cole Young, Marcus. I know.
It's Cole Young, real Cole Young. He got punched several times in the face by Goro before he got his shiny armor, before he became Aquaman. All right? Before he got that Aquaman suit, he got punched in the face. He should be dead. Goro was a monster. I don't understand. People you talk about Christian Cage shouldn't beat Will Hobbs. No, Cole Young shouldn't have beat the young upstart known as Prince Goro.
Can we just honestly talk, Marcus? Let's talk about the elephant of the room. When it comes to superpowers that they all got, when I forgot, it's the Ka or the Ku. I'm not really sure what the power was.
Kana.
It was kind of some, like, when your Kana is that you have armor so you can get your ass beat. That tells me I don't need you to be my hero.
No, his armor was basically the Black Panther suit, where it absorbs the hit, and then you can put that power back out.
I was like, really?
I was really disappointed. I thought he was gonna get the power of Scorpion, and then he'd be like, "Oh, I got fire and everything." But no, they didn't go that route. You can't be Scorpion. They didn't even allow him to be Scorpion. Give me the mantle of Scorpion. No, you're not doing it. You got my blood, but we're going to actually teleport from hell, real Scorpion back.
The outer realm, Marcus, the outer realm.
He could have did this at any point in his life, of his dead life. He could have came back and got Scorpion ass. But he chose at this moment, 100 or thousands of years in the future.
Well, because we know that they were cheating, Marcus. They were cheating. They cheated.
Everybody was cheating. And that's my main problem about this Mortal Kombat movie, is that there's one thing in Mortal Kombat that I know that needs to happen. And goddamn it, it's a tournament with rules. I got a melee. It was more of a backstage brawl than any tournament. So they do not get the star for stipulation in this movie.
Marcus,
I got the tournament. I never got
Marcus, it was like watching AEW. We had rankings, we had brackets, but it never happened.
Yeah, it was like, oh, where are the brackets at? Because we're supposed to have this tournament to determine the fate of Earth so Outworld doesn't get us. And that's the simple basics of this, and it's why people are fighting. But for Raiden to teleport people and say, this is where the tournament's going to begin, no, I need setup. I need them to go to some obscure island like they did in the first one, and I need random people to get their ass kicked.
Well, so, Marcus, this is where I disagree with you with. This is where I disagree with you with, Marcus. I felt that they were trying to incorporate as much as the video game as they could, and so they wanted to incorporate the whole idea of having different stages, and I think that's where the teleportation of people going there. Marcus, you have to, Marcus. I wish I had a mute. Marcus has talked a lot. Manny, please give us some of your insight on Mortal Kombat.
Well, I believe that baby should have died. There was no ventilation when they put her in that cabinet, so the bloodline should have ended. It shouldn't have carried on. Yeah, and I didn't really enjoy it as much. The fight scenes were cool, and then like where it was like they were at different stages, kind of cool. The funny thing about that was when Jax had those little arms, the little baby arms.
I also like that somehow, some way, they made Melina black. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and she had a fat ass.
She did. She was thick. I was like, huh.
Hold the question. I know she had her face was fucked up and everything, but Melina still get it?
Marcus, you know the answer to that, man. I mean, come on, man. I know, Marcus, I know cats in real life. Remember, Ryan described women as weathered, fairly weathered,
weathered,
and really weathered. That's how he described the women of Wisconsin.
Yeah,
weathered. She got too many miles on the track.
And Betty, when he told us this, he said it seriously. It was not even no comedic. It was just like he was like they weathered, man.
And he said he happy to be in California.
He's the youngest one out of all of us, and that is how an old man would speak.
That's how you know it wasn't no good crowd, because it brings you back to your ancient ancestors of how women were. Like your ancestors come back for you and be like, yeah, those women are weathered, man. You don't want to.
What next? Women broads. That broad over there.
So Shang-Chi brought his pixie girl out of nowhere. I forget her name. And he's like, that's a bad bitch there. That's a bad right there. Like, he nearly brought her out like that. And I was like, and you can see, like, Cabal and everybody like, whatever, man. But he died nearly the next scene. He did nothing. He did nothing.
That's the one fatality Kung Lao got. That was the one fatality Kung Lao got.
He put the shit out of her.
But, so once again, I would say Melina was one of my favorite characters just for multiple reasons, because she was thick. But at the same time, when she was fighting Sonya Blaze, and she says, she was like, you don't have the chosen blood. And she was like, fuck you, like, bitch.
You're not worth the blood.
Can I actually say I did enjoy that story part of the movie of Sonya Blaze not being able to train because she wasn't chosen? Like, you knew she was going to end up killing Kano, but at the end of the day, I enjoyed that story. Like, you can't fight with us.
Of the limited story there was of any of these characters.
Yeah. At the risk of being canceled, Eric, a white Karen always finds her way.
Yeah, she does,
and that's
man.
what I was say it was. She was a Karen of the group.
Marcus,
and she found her way in.
Marcus, can I continue? Can I double down on your risk of being canceled? Not only did she find her way, she led a black man to his promised land, showing that a white woman will lead you to your true potential. Because Jax had those little arms, and she was like, Major, I told you. And the next thing you know, when she was trapped underneath that rock, not dead, by the way, a rock fell on somebody with no superpowers, and she was not dead. He became superhuman.
So basically what you're saying is this is the video game version of The Blind Side.
Pretty much. So, like, I had the experience of watching the movie with Shantae, who was really into this movie because she was not a big Mortal Kombat player. So she was like, oh, who's this character? She enjoyed it a lot. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think it's the best film of 2021. I think it surpasses Godzilla versus Kong. That's how good it was to me.
Hold on, you put that on a pin. You put that as a high-ranking movie, Godzilla versus.
Benny, I've only watched 2 movies in 2021. Those are the 2 movies I watched: Mortal Kombat and Godzilla versus Kong. And right now, Mortal Kombat is right there, and then Godzilla versus Kong is right underneath.
All right, so back to the movie. The whole point of this. It seems like they just wanted to make Scorpion and Sub-Zero the movie. And everybody else was just side characters, right? I feel like they didn't even care about the tournament. You know how much they cared about everything else? Is that they cast Lao as Shang Tsung. There has to be someone better than Lao to be Shang Tsung.
But Marcus.
From the Dark Knight series.
But Marcus.
Lao looked beat up already. Anybody could whoop Shang Tsung.
But Marcus,
Shang Tsung to me is a badass.
But Marcus, be serious about this. Think about it. They did what most people did when they played Mortal Kombat. For a good portion of playing Mortal Kombat, all you would pick was either Sub-Zero or Scorpion. And that, for me, I thought Sub-Zero might have been the coldest villain I've seen in a long time in a movie. And I really enjoyed him as the bad guy. I mean, the fact that...
I used to play as Baraka.
Yeah, Baraka.
Because he was an ugly motherfucker.
Baraka, really? That's who you went with?
Yeah, and he had knives.
So
Drax was cool. He
so
knives. Little knife man. He's like Wolverine, but
I'm ashamed of who I play with.
I
play with Kung Lao. That was my boy with his little spitty hat. Like that was my pick.
Oh, and speaking of, Liu Kang he was a bitch in the first movie in 1999 or whenever it came out. He's even a bigger bitch in 2021.
Benny, not a bigger bitch. He was an emo bitch, man. He had fire. Oh, we've trained so hard. Like, what, Marcus?
I will warn you.
1995 Liu Kang, I think it's 95, whatever year that movie came out. 1995 Liu Kang will beat the shit out of modern day Liu Kang. He will beat the shit out of him. And,
modern day Liu Kang is a snowflake generation.
Yeah, he's soft. He's soft, crying over Kung Lao. I mean, yes, he can do his fireball at any time. And our Liu Kang, who we come up, barely had the special effect to do one fireball. But he would have whooped his ass. That Liu Kang, I would have beat Liu Kang's ass. And I'm shocked Liu Kang came in halfway through the movie. Halfway through the movie, we get Liu Kang. Like, I was like, isn't he like one of the most essential characters? Nah, he's halfway in the movie. No backstory whatsoever. He's the power of the light. He's been here. Where y'all been? And what is Ratings doing? He want them to win. Why couldn't he just teleport these fools together instead of doing what Sonya Blade, who had no information, somehow got all this ancient information, and I'm going to say 20 minutes from doing it on Google search. How did she get any of this information
Marcus,
about Outworld?
Marcus,
all this? No one gave her anything.
Marcus, it's POWW. Power of white women. That's what it was, Marcus. Power of white women.
I don't know how she got that far.
But
she had no money.
But
she
like the thing is,
how did she get anything?
Shang Tsung, Marcus, Shang Tsung, he got all the research of who had the mark. He was sending Sub-Zero to kill everybody. Like you said, how could what bad technology did Raiden have not to protect the Earth Guardians? Like literally, Earth was going to be destroyed because Raiden wasn't doing his job. He was blind to what was going on.
Raiden brought nothing to the table. His light, he shows up like, I miss White Raiden. White Raiden in the original movie got it done. All right? He told him what needs to happen. He told him, you guys are going to fight, and he had to protect it. And then when anybody came around, he flickered his eyes a little bit. You'd be like, dang, I want nothing to do with that. I believe it was Christopher Lambert.
Manny,
if I'm correct.
You look like you're about to fall asleep, so we need to wrap this up real quick. What did
No.
Oh,
you just want to go.
Well, Marcus promised me some food, so I am kind of hungry.
So here's I got several questions more about this movie.
Oh, okay, go ahead then.
Several more. Kano, or mostly the ending. Are all these people dead, or did Shang bring them back to life?
Marcus, for the purpose,
like, we'll see you in part 2.
Marcus,
that's what it looked like the ending.
Purposes for the sequel, they're being brought back. They're gonna be fighting again, man.
And cliffhanger. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think your cliffhanger is the thing that happened at the end.
Yeah.
When they go looking for Johnny Cage.
Yeah. Isn't he like one of the weakest?
But I feel like I would have had a better movie if it was Johnny Cage instead of Cole.
Yes.
You know, for so many times, I thought Cole was going to be Johnny Cage. And I was like, why couldn't Johnny Cage be the focal point? Like, was this just your way of trying to get the story of Scorpion into the movie? I just felt Cole Young was just such a bad main character. I didn't like that guy. It started off with him getting beat up. Like, his daughter was tougher than him.
No, the thing about the story, they took all this shit lightly with Sub-Zero coming through, freezing all the water, and Jax goes, hey man, this dude got some probably need to get the fuck out of here. Drive to Kentucky. Take my gun. All right, we're gonna take this cool, go chill in this cabin. And Jax with a gun think he's gonna take out somebody. Go ahead.
I realize that.
You want to raise your hand, Eric, you gotta do that, all right?
I don't have my Skype open, but Marcus, I just want to point out something. Like, technically, I don't understand the logic of this movie, right? Jax got his arms destroyed by Sub-Zero, correct? Yet, somehow, Raiden, who couldn't find anybody else, was able to find Jax and teleport him back to the temple where they can put those little arms on him.
Just in time when he didn't bleed out. Where he didn't bleed out or die of any frostbite or whatever the hell you can get from being too cold.
Well, Marcus, they said he didn't bleed out because he froze the arteries where the blood would go out. So
what else could happen if you just freeze arteries? I feel like science needs to come into play here. Science, damn it.
It's a movie. The science doesn't check out.
like those guys who built those little arms for him. Where did they get that?
They're the same people. They're the same.
You know what? I feel like killing Jax at that moment would give me a better fighter because Jax wasn't bringing nothing to the table.
I feel like Marcus is very passionate about this, Manny. Do you feel Marcus has a lot of passion behind this movie?
I feel like he wanted to review this movie because he was hyped for it. I could have cared less.
I thought, you know what, we could have got a good Mortal Kombat movie and they gave us this. I still want my tournament, damn it. I still want my tournament.
And I disagree with you, Marcus. I feel like I got myself a good Mortal Kombat movie.
I thought it was average.
But what do you expect from action movies? That's what I got.
But again, you don't remake a movie unless I'm going to compare you to the previous one. And as cheesy and as stupid as the original one was, it had more story, and I enjoyed the action and the characters better.
Wait, what are you talking about? Godzilla versus King Kong?
No, Mortal Kombat 1990, whatever. 90s Kombat.
Is the original Mortal Kombat movie streaming anywhere?
I'm sure it is.
Gotta be.
Because I feel like I need to revisit that.
It's cheesy, but it's more fun because they do the tournament. They fight.
Marcus, you're just really hard on this tournament.
Because it's Mortal Kombat. And then they have the area where Jax fighting? Who was he fighting on the bridge? And
some guy with a hammer.
Yeah. I think it may have, he fought the guy with the hammer, whoever that was. And he's supposed to uppercut him off the bridge. If you're gonna make movie references to the stages, that was the perfect stage. Jax needs to do the uppercut, Duke flies off the bridge, down to the spikes, 1,000,000 miles away, and you show me that fatality. I'm just saying.
You guys,
we only got 2 real proper fatalities in that film,
hey,
didn't we?
You guys, I'm gonna let you guys know something.
Dragon that burned.
So
Kung Lao guy's fatality.
So let me tell you this. I never thought that I would use Peacock for anything else but the WWE Network. However, after I have lunch with Marcus and I come back home, I'm going to watch the original Mortal Kombat on Peacock because it is available there.
Has Shantae seen the original Mortal Kombat?
I don't know if Shantae has seen the original Mortal Kombat at all.
I'm going to tell you this one. They have 3 more black characters in this one, and all of them seem more badass than this Jax.
You just don't like Jax.
Everyone liked Melina.
I mean, the movie gets because of Melina, man. When they had that one shot when she was walking with the signs, I was like, "Oh, you know what you're doing, director, man. You know what you're doing."
This is called Melina, the movie.
I mean, I can't wait till they cast Katana.
She has to be black, though, right?
I think so.
Because Melina's Katana's younger sister. They have to cast Katana as black. They have set the standard.
So, Marcus, I do recall when we played Mortal Kombat, one of your favorite characters to play as is Reptile. How did you feel the use of Reptile was done in this movie?
Just as good as it was in the original. In fact, it was equal. Although I enjoyed the other one because, you know what I liked in the other movie is that they had the video game sounds. Like when Reptile turned to Reptile and it made no sense why he turned to Reptile. It was just Reptile. And I was like, this is dope. It gets you hype, but he's one of my favorite characters. Great, but Scorpion was my favorite. And I liked what they did with Scorpion. I like
Sub-Zero. I really like. Although he was a killer.
They're cool. And have you ever thought it was reversed? I always did it reverse. Scorpion is 100% pure evil, like pure evil, and Sub-Zero, even though he's a cold motherfucker, has a heart of gold.
Well,
I always thought it was a face.
If you remember, I think it's in Mortal Kombat Part 2 or Part 3. When they remove the mask of Sub-Zero off, that's when they try to give him he was a good guy or something like that. Where they try to say that he found the light, and because Scorpion is in hell, he's a devil.
He's a demon from hell. He's a lava monster basically.
Should we be upset that we didn't get an explanation of why the guy who seemed like he was a good family man went to hell?
There's no explanation of anything. explanation of anything.
Like, what deadly sin did he do to go to hell? I was curious. I was like,
I have no explanation of why Sub-Zero decided to try and kill him straight at the beginning.
Oh, because because he was working for Shang Tsung, and it was trying to kill the bloodline because of the prophecy.
Oh, it was all about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it was a prophecy.
But why did Sub-Zero change his look? I mean, I guess 1,000 years would change anybody's look. When he got the grill and the thing, he didn't want to look like he was like, my face don't look
Let's just point out.
Like this.
Shang Tsung is a very patient man because he enacted his plan to cheat the Outer Worlds tournament in 1617. He knew right then and there, I'm going to kill this bloodline, wait 10 years and win the tournament 10 years in a row, and then next thing you know, it's all mine. So I can slay.
Every 10 years?
Yeah, well, because like, he had won it 9 times.
No, I think you're supposed to win 10.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know I don't know what the Olympic thing.
Every 100 years or 1,000 years, something like that.
I don't know what it was, but it don't matter. At the end of the day, he was trying to cheat to win. He was playing the long game, man. The long game.
Well, if you're going to cheat, go all in. I mean, well, I'm going to send Sub-Zero to kill people one at a time 2 weeks before a tournament.
Well, Marcus, you gotta understand.
And it seems like there's no one policing the rules. Like the gods seem to not care that people are fighting before a tournament officially happened or whatever's going on.
Mark, they explained that. They said that the other realms. Marcus, hold on. They said the other realms didn't want to interfere with the outer realm because they knew that he was too powerful. They gave a little bit of backstory right then and there. You was just too upset that you didn't get your tournament. That's all it was.
The original Shang Tsung tried to cheat. And he was gonna try it, and he was like, "All right, you got me, Raiden. The guys wouldn't like this. This is just fair, and it's a disgrace to the tournament. I'm not gonna do it. All right, you got me." And he could fight too. Shit, I can't fight. And the soul sucking, I didn't get behind that either. I love Cabal though. He's a shit talker that I thought he'd always be, and I don't even know if that's a fact. Cabal just talks shit for no reason. You're a piece of shit. And
so anyway, so
no reason.
Manny, is Mortal Kombat a thumbs up or a thumbs down or just an in between rating for you?
It's thumbs down. I felt I didn't really need to see this.
Okay, Marcus, I turn to you. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, they get no star for story.
Here we go.
No star for situation. Poor casting, so they get a no star for atmosphere. The fights were good. I enjoyed some of the fights, and overall enjoyment, I give them this finger right here, because they ruined Mortal Kombat for me. Thumbs down.
Well, I disagree with Manny. I disagree with Marcus and Manny, and I've never seen somebody who say they want a thumbs down a movie and say fuck a movie. But you know what? I'll sign up for another one. I want to give it 2 thumbs up because it's just mindless fun, and that's what you need sometimes with a movie, and especially dealing with what we're dealing with nowadays. You just need to have mindless fun.
If Baraka was in this movie, that thumbs down may turn into a thumbs up, but he wasn't.
I think, Manny, I think Baraka was in the movie. I think he was mentioned in some of the scrolls when they were going through.
No, Eric, I don't need a teaser. I need to see him with his knives and looking all ugly as fuck.
I need to hear Native American characters.
I would cosplay and attach various knives to my face.
I need a hill. I think T-Hawk. is the
They have pictures, man. I don't
want those guys in it. Where was the A-Team? Don't give me the B squad in this. I want the A-Team. No one picked Kano. His laser eyes.
But he was kind of perfect for that.
No, he was perfect. Like he was a downfall. I mean,
no problem.
Mark, because Kano without Cabal, like Cabal was like, "Oh, I know Kano. We can make this work." I mean, like for me, I was upset that apparently he was getting paid 3 times whatever he asked for, but he was still bitching about that $3 million that Sonya promised him.
Here's what I don't understand. Shang Tsung has all these guys from Outworld, But why is he recruiting Earth people to fight Earth people?
Because they needed somebody to break down the barrier. Because Marcus, he didn't want to fight in a real tournament. He wanted to cheat. He was destined on cheating, Marcus.
Yeah, but I believe Sub-Zero is of Earth, right? I think he's an Earth dude.
No,
Marcus, you need to get him on 6 degrees of defending a championship. I'm sure he'll find a way. I'm sure he'll find better ways than I did or Eric did to not defend that title.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Sharpshooters podcast.
Johnny Cage make you want to come back for more. How is that an end?
Marcus, the movie makes me want to come back. The movie makes me want to come back for more, but they need to do the right thing, Marcus. And the man has practiced in 9 movies. The Miz can carry the role of Johnny Cage. Get the WWE audience involved and make the Miz Johnny Cage. And I think that movie could be
5 of those movies were the Marine. Let's get that right.
Manny?
What was the Christmas movie with Paige?
Manny, let's just say his acting in probably all those Marines is probably better than some of the acting that we had in this movie. Come on, emo Liu Kang might have been the worst thing ever.
He didn't even do his fucking kicks.
Can we ask? Okay, you know what? I was ready to close the show, but I have a question. Why was Liu Kang roaming around the desert, just walking around the desert? Was he going on an emo walk or something? Like he ran into them.
I think Raiden told him to get it. I don't know what Raiden's plan was for Earth, but if he wanted to, like, I felt like he was trying to. Raiden was like someone trying to buy their winning team. It reminded me of the Brooklyn Nets. I'm just gonna put them together. They don't ever have to actually be together to make this team work. We just hit the switch when it comes on. That's what it seemed like Raiden was trying to do. He's watching way too much Yankees baseball.
All right, I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
I'm very disappointed Marcus the grand finale.
And if you made it this far, we really appreciate you sticking with us through this long call. Make sure you can email us at thesharpshooters@gmail.com. Yeah, until next time, stay sharp.
There hasn't been any emails for like at least 4 weeks. What is going on, people?
They hate us. The show fell apart. That's it. We're canceled.
You know,
you can't cancel us because we are self-employed and we will die until we get our start.
Shantae was almost kind of crestfallen when I was like, you know, is this a real email that Manscaped want to do a partnership with the Sharpshooters?
I'll do it for free.
I need the new ball trimmer.
Get over here.
Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Till next week, stay sharp. Peace.
Peace.